Here we go. Here we go. You just only sorry you got caught. Oh. Man, what is it with people getting caught on live TV assaulting somebody and then they're not the person that got assaulted crying afterwards, the person that assaulted the person crying afterwards. What I'm telling you, boy, Will Smith set a very dangerous precedent. Will Smith set a very dangerous precedent. And by the way, oh, shout out to Henoch. Shout out to any war band members coming in. This is gonna be an all-purpose type show. I'm gonna cover some sports, some man woman stuff, some of everything. But yeah, the Will Smith, we're gonna call it the Will Smith effect. I don't know what it is with these people. They're getting caught on live TV assaulting somebody, and then they will ask the assaulter what happened, or they will get the assaulter's reaction, and the assaulter will be crying. What kind of backward universe are we living in? We're gonna call it the Will Smith effect, man. But salute to he not coming through. Educated Tyrone. So I let me say something about Educated Tyrone. So I checked in on his stream last night, and this dude, you like he was legitimately crashing out. I don't know why you was ripping what's this? This dude was straight up crashing out, man. Oh my god. Let me see. Henoch also says Cuck Smith was the first to realize the potential of black on black crime. Hey, no, Henoch, watch this. Let's stay right here. Let's stay right here real quick. This is how I knew we were cooked. This is how I knew as a community ninjas were cooked, right? Do you know today ninjas is on Will Smith's side? You know that? Do you guys know that? Do you know that? I'm talking about I'm talking about today because Will Smith had some, decent, PR afterwards, even though he got kicked out of the Oscars. So basically you have all the ninjas are like pro Will Smith because they don't like Chris Rock or whatever, because now you even have ninjas say, "Oh, Chris Rock not even funny, man," because they think that he deserved it. I kid you not. I kid you not. Let me show you something, Henoch. Let's stay right here. Yeah, right here. It's we're living in backwards land. So Henoch also says, funny enough, the victims are always calm and pleasant. So Chris Rock has been the one that's been calm, cool, collective, talking about forgiveness and everything. They just interviewed Chris Rock. He's talking about forgiveness and all this nonsense. Meanwhile, you have Will Smith doing press tours and all, like he's the one that got hit. You're just like, what's going on? There was an interview that Chris Rock's brother, right, Tony Rock, did an interview, right, and Tony Rock has said, "Oh yeah, my brother doesn't OD push me in other movies." So basically, what Tony Rock was explaining was he was saying that Chris Rock wasn't using his nepotism to put Tony Rock in all of Chris Rock's movies. Now, that's false, because I'm like Tony, I've seen you in Everybody Hates Chris. What are you talking about? I saw you in a lot of shows that Chris Rock put. So now I don't think Tony Rock was really complaining about it. Ari Spears just asked him a question, and you had ninjas all up in the comment section saying Chris Rock deserved to be hit by Will Smith. And watch this. When the hit had happened, when Will Smith had hit Chris Rock, I'm talking about ninjas, black men and black women, in the comment section talking about, man, this is black love. I'm like, what? Will Smith is about to lose everything. He's about to lose everything. You talk about this is black love? I was like, wow, we're cooked. We're cooked. there's no saving this, man. Ain't no saving this, man. what kind of hoe ass nigga you gotta be? You hit somebody and you're the one crying afterwards. You're the one. And that's not how I grew up, man. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. I'm still shocked. Just go on any Chris Rock section, anything that Chris Rock does, you're gonna have a whole bunch of black people talk about, yeah, Will Smith should have had the right to hit you. Like, it's wild. Because I'd be paying attention to like the comments and all that. I'm like, wow. I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked. I am severe. I'm like, people really been shocking me these past 5 years. It's just like, wow. So Enoch says, wow, I'm really losing my respect for ninjas day by day, and I'm 50% African. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. So Truth Hunter's been noticing that too. He said, and any black guy who isn't on Will Smith's side is called an Uncle Tom. That happened to me. I was like, are you guys seriously sticking up for Will Smith? And they were just trying to say, oh, I like white people and all this stuff, and oh, you on the white side, and if you, and basically, oh yeah, Chris Rock only makes comedy for white people. Oh yeah, white people is protecting Chris Rock after that. I'm like, are you kidding me? You can't go up on stage and assault people. What do you do? Yes, Will Smith has had when he got banned from the Oscars for umpteenth years. Yeah, he deserved that. You can't go up on stage and assault people. You're just in the comment section and you're just like, what world am I living in? What world am I living in? It's wild. It's wild. Like, now I gotta look back now, especially at my childhood or just me growing up, where like say like sometimes or so say if I got caught doing something and people would ask me, why did you do it? And you know what my logic was when I was younger? And it was a bit psychopathic, but my logic used to be like, it's not what I did, it's who I am. And that was an excuse that I used. But this is where we living in now. This is what we're living in. And people said I was wrong for saying that when I was a kid. But it's, what do we do? What are we doing now? So what's the point of growing up, learning to do better, to be a better person, to do better as a person, just to watch somebody get assaulted on stage? And you got a whole group of people that are cheering the abuser, the assaulter, the physical aggressor, the bully, the clear bully. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on, but you see now we got that story about this high school track star. Now we got this story about her. She's caught on 4K assaulting the woman, the other girl on the track, and she has an interview of her crying, and she did the assaulting. Meanwhile, the girl that got assaulted, I haven't heard a peep from her. I haven't heard a word. This is supposed to be in reverse. This is supposed to be in reverse. What's go? But this is the kind of this is the this is where we living at. This is where we living at. And yes, I do blame. We're gonna credit that to educated Tyrone. We could just go and call it the Will Smith effect. Watch any comment section about Will Smith or Chris Rock. Just pay attention to the comments and look at the ninjas in the comment section. You just be like, you'll be shocked. He said one of my Truth Hunter said one of my friends was called that stuff for months, and I bet you he was just all he was doing was speaking sense. I bet you all he was doing was speaking sense. Oh no, yeah, they said it was black love. Yep, they so Enoch said there's no way they said that was love. I swear, that's what they were saying when it had happened. That's what, and I'll say this. Shout out to Shannon Sharp. Shout out to Shannon Sharp for calling that out because I thought I was the only one that saw it. I'm like, is people saying this is black love? I was like, what are you? He said, and y'all on Twitter talking about this is black love. Really? I thought I was because I was looking at these comments. I'm like, y'all cool with Will Smith doing that? And then they try to show a video of Samuel L. Jackson dapping up Will Smith like he was cool with that. I was like, no. This is what world are we living in? But and I'll say shout out to Joe Rogan, shout out to Jim Carrey. You know what I mean? Shout out because the reason I don't know, maybe because Chris Rock does a lot of work with Caucasian people in general, especially nowadays in the TV world or in the film industry when he does films. So they think he's I don't know what it is about that. So they're just holding that against him. I don't know what it is, but I like I said, people get mad at me when I say this. Like, if somebody had, like, say if I got famous, right? And people were to say, hey, Chris, what is your message to the youth, or what is your message to young black boys and what they could do for the community? I'm the first thing I'm gonna say is run. Don't look back. That's what I'm gonna say. And I don't even care who gets mad. I'm literally gonna say run. Don't look back. Let me see. Enoch also said it's better to be an Uncle Tom than side with an assailant. Like, yeah, I'm still baffled that people are siding with Will Smith. I can't even look at Will Smith the same. I after that incident, I can't. Like, the only way Will Smith will be forgiven in my eyes, he needs to. I said this when it happened. I made a video. Only Pyro might probably remember this because he was one of the first people to see either Pyro or Lorette Hamilton, or they can attest to this. I made a video reacting to that Will Smith situation. I said the only way I will forgive Will Smith is if he comes out the closet and says, look, I was in an abusive relationship with Jada Pinkett. I have been unhappy for years, and I've been trying to keep it together for the family. This is my boyfriend that I've been hiding. This is Brad. I'm happy with Brad. This is my boyfriend, and I will be divorcing Jada Pinkett immediately. That is the only way I will forgive him, because everybody that saw the situation understood what happened. Anybody that saw the situation understood what happened. Will Smith thought the joke was it was harmless. Jada didn't find it funny. This dude turned into the Terminator, like Jada Pinkett got like a remote control on him and tried his best Tupac impersonation, got up on the stage and assaulted Chris Rock. It's very, 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 very clear what happened. And if Will Smith were to come out and say, yo, this is what happened to me, I've been stuck in this relationship and I feel like I've been manipulated and mentally abused and all this stuff. If he were to come out and say this, I will forgive him. Hell, I think Chris Rock already had addressed the situation, but I even think Chris Rock would give him a pass if he came out like that too. Enoch says, I understand why people still like Will Smith. He was part of their childhood of many people, but that shouldn't be an excuse to defend him. Chris made a joke based on a woman who disrespected Will. Exactly. Like, He could have went like all the embarrassment Jada has put Will through. He could have went way worse in on Will or Jada. And all he did was make a bald-headed joke. She's suffering from alopecia. I'm like, I said, then I looked away. What the hell is alopecia? So it's just, it's just a form of baldness. I'm like, so she's just going bald. So I'm like, that's like, this is why I always say men and women are not equal. Like the standard barrier of men getting ripped on, that's like the standard. Men losing their hair. That's like the standard. We all get ripped about that. If we got a messed up hairline, if we going bald, if we got a patch in our head, that's literally the standard of men getting made fun of. But she can't handle that. The bitch she don't got cancer. She got alopecia. You going she going bald. And now we gotta suffer. Now Will Smith had to damn near almost lose his whole career over this. And then you got ninjas in the comment section talking about this is black love. Oh man, it's crazy, man. So Truth understand, yep, he was, and I got called racist for defending my friend. I don't know. Truth, if you feel free to expand in the chat about what happened specifically, because I know you kind of described what happened. You said a black guy who was you said the black so you said you knew the black guy that said publicly he wasn't on Will Smith's side and he was called an Uncle Tom. So man, that's crazy. So he said it publicly. He thought he was just making sense, and he got called an Uncle Tom. We're done, bro. We're done. And Truth Hunter said, and he's not lying, guys. He's not lying. He's not lying. So he said, and I got called a racist for defending my friend. We're done, guys. and mind you, he's defending another black man, and he got called a racist. It's not like Will Smith slapped a white comedian. First of all, if it was a white comedian up there, Will Smith wouldn't have smacked him. That's a whole other story for another day, right? If that was Norm Macdonald up there, he would have not. Will Smith would have stayed in his seat. He slapped another black man. You would have thought that it would be other black men reprimanding Will for making us look bad. Nah, this is black love. We're done. we're done, bro. We're done. Okay. Enoch says, hell, I was surprised Denzel Washington was checking up on that cuck. Like, bro, how how does your morals change when it comes to that cuck? Facts. It was nobody checking up on Chris Rock except for, like, it was people publicly checking up on Will, but he was the one that smacked Chris. We're done, bro. It was only like other like white comics and other like Caucasian members of Hollywood that was like, bro, this what are we doing? Will Smith literally set us back 100 years with that slap. It was first of all, it was like an all black Oscars thing. They had a black producer doing it. What's the guy's name? Will Packer, making sure the black actors and actresses were getting honored that specific night. And Will Smith want to act like he at the Source Awards and pull that. And then you have people acting like Will Smith was the victim and he assaulted another man on stage. Wild. We just made all of us look bad, man. It's crazy. Enoch says excuses just because he was in an abusive relationship doesn't excuse you from assaulting someone who didn't lay a hand on you. If you are in a toxic relationship, leave. Facts. But I would say I would forgive him only because if like the second part is crucial. He needs to be like, look, I'm coming out the closet. that will, because now you basically give Chris Rock a bit of a boost, because now Will Smith will be classified as a rainbow community member, and Will Smith will basically be qualified as a sissy amongst real ninjas, and Chris Rock will be the masculine person. So it would be a point to Chris Rock. That's how I look at it. Enoch also, my bad, I keep coughing. What's wrong? He says, I bet he wouldn't have done it if it was 50 Cent. Oh no, he would have stayed in his seat. Please. Yo, hold on for a second, man. Let me show y'all something. I remember. Oh no, I know what you mean. Yeah, so because now if he admits that he's gay, that's that second part is important. He needs to be like, oh, I'm gay. I'm dealing with issues. And it makes Chris Rock look more masculine, because now he's a sissy in most real niggas' eyes. In my opinion, that's how I look at it. You know what I mean? I could be wrong though on that, but that's how I look at it. And then it would make everything it would make everything make sense. Everything would make sense on that end. But somebody mentioned he not mentioned 50 Cent. Let me show you something, man. Let me show you something about 50 Cent. Man, please, man. They would have. I remember when 50 Cent did the amusement park song on the BET Awards. He delayed the first part of the performance to look for Irv Gotti and the Murder Inc. crew in the front row. Hey, yo, I want to see where everybody at. He walks across the front row looking for them people. You hear Tony Ayo in the back row. They over there. Hold on. Let me see if I can find that performance. Yeah, this is it. This is it right here. This is back when I used to watch the BET performance. 50 Cent is he's no joke. Will Smith would have stayed in his seat, please. Like I said, but that's obvious. Like I say, even this, if it was The Rock Johnson that made the G.I. Jane joke, which Chris Rock obviously didn't. Somebody wrote that for him. Clearly, somebody wrote that joke for Chris Rock, right? And for him to do that, he did that to Chris Rock because he's bigger than him. And Chris Rock is a smaller character. He's not like Chris Rock's not like a small character, but Will Smith is bigger than him, and he thought that he could pull it on him. But if that was 50 Cent, he wouldn't have pulled it. Do y'all remember when 50 Cent did the amusement park performance? This dude, he'd be looking for the smoke, man. What? Yeah, what? Yeah, what? Yeah, I gotta fast forward to that part. He takes off the jacket, and then he goes, I want to see where everybody at. But he was looking for Murder Inc. and Irv Gotti in the front row. And he was basically looking for the smoke that day. That was hilarious, man. What's up, Phil? What the yeah. I gotta he delays the full, like literally the first the song was supposed to been start. Watch this. He's gonna end up walking across the whole front. He's gonna come off the stage. He's looking for the whole crew, mind you. He's looking for the whole crew during his performance. During his own performance. Because they were saying that, oh, we're finna be in the front row. We finna do something to Fitty. Irv Gotti and them people, they was talking mad smack. They were having a little bit of back and forth before the performance. but not necessarily before the performance. They said that once they see 50 at the BET spot at the awards, they said it was going to be on site. Nothing ended up happening.
Vic, what's up, man? I'm trying to figure out where everybody at. What's up? Yeah. What's up? What's the deal? Yeah.
One of the funniest moments in BET history right here.
50. It's 50.
Gave him the troll laugh right after. Man, 50, please. 50 Cent crazy than a muff. 50's a what you call like a straight, like he's ain't Wilson. First of all, Jada, you know what would have happened? Jada would have actually laughed if it was 50 that made that joke. That's how much I hated that whole situation. She want to give attitude, but we already if 50 Cent made the same joke, Jada would have laughed at it. That's how messed up that situation is. She would have laughed, but because it's Chris Rock, and you see him in a different way. Now all of a sudden you want to catch an attitude. Yeah, exactly. Truth Hunter said anyone at Will Smith's size, no slap. That's exactly what happened. Because Chris Rock is like around like 5'8", 5'9", average size dude, but he looks a lot smaller. But he's 5'8", 5'9", the size of the average man. But he's very skinny. Like Chris Rock, a real skinny type dude. You know, very, very scrawny. You know what I mean? Let me see. Yeah, 50 a true, like 50 is a true menace. Oh, you talking about Will Smith's bodyguard or no, sorry, the former bodyguard. It was like Will Smith got caught with Dwayne something. Another famous black actor. His name is Dwayne something. I forgot. Is Dune. Not Dwayne the Rock Johnson. Is a guy called Dwayne. He's had a lot of shows and movies in the mainstream and in black Hollywood. You know what I mean? So I forgot what his name, but yeah, they called Will. He said that he called Will Smith and Dwayne doing something. So I forgot his name, but yeah, if that happened, Will Smith would have stayed in his seat. 50 Cent makes the joke, even Jada would have laughed. That's cold blooded. It's crazy how the world that I thought the world was turned out exactly. The world is exactly what I thought it was when I was younger, and there was really no point in me changing up. Really, there was no point in me changing up. But it is what it is. It is what it is. You just got to accept. You just got to accept it for what it is. Amusement park. That's what. Look what I searched in the search bar. I said 50 Cent looking for Irv Gotti in the crowd, and the amusement park video came right up. That's great because I was like, wait a minute, when did this specifically happen? But yeah, 50 Cent. Let me see. What's the funniest 50 Cent? One of the oh yeah, the one when Tony. Remember when Tony Yayo was describing how Lloyd Banks, Young Buck, and then they had lost out at like a $250,000 because they wasn't wearing the shoes, the G unit shoes. That was one of the funniest stories I've ever heard. Like Tony Ayo, he's great at telling stories, dog. He's one of the best storytellers of all time. These dudes in G Unit, my ninjas, mind you, the people I love growing up. These dudes lost out of $250,000 sneaker deal because they didn't want to wear the G Unit shoes. I'm like, y'all are idiots. Y'all fumbled the bag. All y'all had to do was wear some the G Unit shoes, which were good looking shoes, but mind you, at that time. And they didn't want to wear it. And 50 Cent peeped them one day. He brought them all in the meeting. He looked under the table and saw none of them had the shoes on, and he said, "Deal's over." I gotta find it. Hold on. Tony Yayo tells sneaker story. I gotta find that one. Tony over the shoes. Yeah, this is the I like the way he tells the story, man, right here.
So Fifth look at everybody's shoes and he's like, "That on Louis? That on Gucci? Where the f is the Reebok? Could have paid the football, man."
So that 180 is for you to endorse that sneakers.
It's just 180, just have it on, my.
Wait. Did everybody else in that room get a check like you did?
Of course, my.
Okay, that's wild.
Thanks, Buck, everybody.
And you wasn't wearing it either.
No. So Fifth look at everybody's shoes and
I gotta find. I think it was a better, like the way I think no, Banks was on in that interview, in that same interview. Banks was in the room, but the way Tony Ayo had described the story was perfect. He got up from his seat, checking everybody's shoes, looking under the table. Let me see, Lloyd Banks, and I think Prodigy even talked about that story. Oh, this is it right here, I think.
I want to get back to the Reebok thing for a moment. We had Tony Yayo on here,
Okay,
and he said
50 let us have our own sneaker.
Fair use, by the way. Fair use. My bad.
I wish I would have took it more serious back then. One day, 50 called a meeting. It was just crazy. 50 was in a funny mood because, shout out to 50, but he gets crazy sometimes. Of course. Came, called in the room. It's me, Banks, Buck, Prodigy was there, Mobb Deep.
Yeah, but Prodigy didn't have this like the Mobb Deep crew at the time with Havoc and Prodigy. They weren't part of the sneaker deal, but they were in the room. They saw what happened.
He looked at the ground.
Yeah.
Nobody had on. Banks had on Gucci. I had on Louis.
Yeah.
Buck had on Fendi. He was like, "Deal's over, guys. No more checks from Reebok."
is that how it happened?
Yeah, pretty much.
But I feel like you were wearing them all the time. I feel like you were loyal to this
See
shit.
what I'm saying? Yeah, I still have them.
How big was the Reebok deal for you? Were you getting paid off it separately?
Yeah, probably like $2.25 million.
I want to get back to the Reebok.
Look, and I love Lloyd Banks is probably my favorite. He's probably my favorite rapper ever. I think Lloyd Banks is a top 5. I'm talking about top 5, top 10 rapper in terms of lyrically that I've ever heard. But Banks, bro, all you had to do was wear them shoes, man. I don't care if you wanted to take a day off from wearing them. Nah, if they paying you that much money to wear some sneakers, and I'm gonna say exactly how Prodigy said it. Prodigy said if he had them that same deal, he said I would have wore them sneakers in my casket. Rest in peace to Prodigy, by the way. Rest in peace. But back to so enough of the bullying stuff. I'm gonna switch gears to before I go back to the track story. Yeah, Dwayne Martin, that was his name. Dwayne Martin. That's what the bodyguard said that Will Smith was caught with. Will Smith was caught with Dwayne Martin, according to one of these bodyguards. That was his name, Dwayne Martin. That was his name. Sorry for the late response on that. But I always thought that was a funny story because Tony Ayo was describing 50 Cent just going around looking under the table, checking people's shoes. That's funny, man. That's a funny story. And like I said, I got love for Banks, but bro, you got there's no excuses. He said that's the one time I didn't wear him. Nah, I doubt it. Nah, man. You gotta wear them shoes, man. You gotta wear them. Anyways, did you guys see this? Did you guys see the video? Did you guys see this video? Let me see something real quick. Let me open this in the new tab. Did you guys see the video of LeBron James approaching Stephen A. Smith? Did y'all see that?
Unexpectedly, I might add, to confront me about making sure that I mind what I say about his son. That wasn't a basketball player confronting me. LeBron James knows I have nothing but to be in that moment.
I want to see like that
Because I have nothing. LeBron James knows that was LeBron.
Let me see. Yeah, they're showing the video again. But what do you guys think about that situation? Because LeBron James has been saying some interesting things lately. He's been doing some interesting things lately, and I want to get people's take on it. Somebody has to give me the name of the YouTuber. Somebody's got to help me out real quick. There's a YouTuber that got caught with another, like it was a married YouTuber that got caught with another woman. I forgot what his name is. That he has a wife, but he got caught with another woman. But he has a YouTube channel. He's part of a duo. He's part of he used to be part of a duo. It's a fat dude that's a Lakers, that's a LeBron fan. But he had an interesting video. Does anybody know his name? It's a fat YouTuber. I think his name is called Replay or something. I forgot what his name is. Somebody's got to give me the name of the YouTuber because for the life of me, I can't remember his name. He used to be part of a duo. It's a duo similar to Abba and Preach, but it's not Abba and Preach. It's somebody. It's another duo. So it's a fat YouTuber that got caught with like a cashier or something, and he was married or something. And he was the same guy that was what's it? Bobby Kim? Nah. It's a black fat YouTuber. That's a LeBron fan, kind of. I don't know if he's a LeBron fan, but he comes across as a LeBron fan. He actually dropped an interesting video. I just can't remember his name for the life of me. And he talked about something about the face of the league. And it was an interesting video. I was like, you know what? This is an interesting video. But I for the life of me, I can't remember his name. His name is like Replay or A Play or something. I don't know these people, man. But it was the same. It was a duo that got, like, remember when like Myron was talking about, oh yeah, I need to have multiple women or something, and then that same duo was saying that Myron was wrong for saying that, or Fresh and Fit was wrong for saying that, and then like a couple months later he got caught with another woman or something. I'm blanking on it. It's a fat black YouTuber. The Legay James. After he said Enoch said Legay James. He said I can't respect him after he got exposed. Oh, you mean I hope not the you mean the Diddy stuff? Because that Diddy picture with him in the maid costume, that was AI. That wasn't a real picture. But LeBron James has already been caught, when he did the Progressive commercial. I remember he wore a wig and he wore a dress. So he has worn a dress before. He has worn a dress before, but that maid costume, they said that was AI. So I don't know about that, but he has been caught wearing he's been on a TV commercial wearing a dress before. So but the guy, I don't know why I can't find his name. Because there's a actual video that he made that I wanted you guys to react to. Oh yeah, I think LeBron James knows about these parties. I think he has participated. Unfortunately, I've had my suspicions, but I don't want to put nothing out there until I'm 100% sure. Until I need to be a 100% sure. But I've had my suspicions about LeBron lately, right? But I gotta find who's that. The duo YouTuber. It's I don't know if the guy's name is A Play Replay. It's a fat black dude. Let me see. A player or something gets caught cheating on YouTuber caught cheating with cashier. Because for the life of me, I can't remember this guy's name. It's a duo. It's like, shit. Play gets caught cheating on one. It's like one half of the duo's now doing like Twitch streams with like Kai and all these people, and then the fat dude is just doing like sports and stuff. Let me see if I can find the video real quick. Because I don't know why I don't. It's really annoying me because the video is actually something I wanted to pull. I was looking for the video for like an hour before the show. I was like, why can I can't remember this guy's name at all. And it's a really famous like YouTube duo. They used to be together, but it's like it's split now. Let me check. Let me just. I just need to. I need 5 minutes to find it. I'm gonna find this out because it's bothering me. Here we go. YouTuber caught after criticizing fresh and fit for cheating. No. God damn it. Here we go. Does anybody know this guy's name? Okay. Oh, what the fuck? All right, here we go. Does anybody know the guy to the right? Does anybody know this guy's name right here? The guy to the right. Yeah, Playback. That's his name. Playback. But they don't really do like duo shows. Who's the fat guy? The fat guy on Playback. Who's What's his channel's name? What's his channel name called? Right? Let me see.
Playback Channel was a YouTube channel featuring the duo of Agent 00 and Legend of Winning, aka Love.
So Agent 00. Was that his name? Agent 00. No, not eight. So his name is Low. The
Playback
fat guy.
Channel was a YouTube.
Here we go. Here we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Low. I hope that's his. That can't be his channel's name.
Playback Channel was a YouTube channel featuring the duo of Agent 00 and Legend of Winning, aka Low. These two will post
Legend of Winning. Here we go. Is his name Foot on? Okay, the Low, because he has a whole lot of channels. He has a whole lot of channels, but he had dropped a video that I found that interesting. Like the video that he made was interesting. Let me see if I can now. Okay, now we're finally getting somewhere. I was like, how am I not gonna find this guy's name? Okay, she said Jimmy. No. Sad end. No. He has said something about the face of the league, which was very interesting. And I'll say this: what I'm about to do is I'm gonna actually give credit to the Boston Celtics star Jason Tatum, and I don't even like the Boston Celtics at all. I don't like the Boston Celtics at all. When he said LeBron exposed, yeah, exactly. This video right here. That's what I saw.
Episode of What's Wrong with the NBA? We got a lot to discuss about.
So we're gonna react to this video right here, where he said LeBron exposed the NBA media. So this was a very, very, very interesting video. Now somebody has to educate me because I don't know much about him. He comes across as a Laker fan or some kind of a LeBron fan or whatever. I'm not sure of his sports background, but we're gonna react to this video right here. Agent Rolls, Agent. Okay, now I'm looking at your comments now. Agent Rolls, Agent 00. So let's react to this. Let's react to this, and let me know what you think in the chat. Let me know what you think. Your honest opinion. This is some interesting stuff, man. This is some very interesting stuff. Let's put this at 1.5 speed to see how this sounds.
In particular, with the face in the NBA, unfair criticism that comes behind it, some talking points that LeBron brought.
Okay, and this is after. This is the reaction to after LeBron when Anthony Edwards had said, "Look, I don't even want to be the face. I just want to ball and go home." And Kevin Durant has said similar as well. So this is not like this isn't a new like type of take, you know. But anyways, let's keep it playing. Let's keep it playing.
Brought up Stephen A. Smith's rebuttal, and quite frankly, a whole point that was completely missed by Stephen A. Smith, and I fear a bunch of other people in the media as well. Quick backstory, NBA ratings have been down, in particular in the early part of the season. They picked up a little bit, but it's all around down. This then leaves a lot of people open to the idea of just criticizing the NBA, in my opinion, unfairly, and voicing their frustrations with the product. JJ Redick,
fair use, by the way. Let me change up the landscape. Let me change up the landscape. Agent double rolls. Let's see something. There we go. Let's change up that landscape real quick. Fair use, by the way.
Early in the season, that part of the reason why people believe that the NBA is a bad product is because of the media coverage from top entities such as a Stephen A. Smith or a Charles Barkley and inside the NBA. Time a little bit passed, but there was a big debacle with the NBA All-Star Weekend in which not only did Anthony Edwards not participate in the festivities, but also said that he did not want to be the face of the NBA. Following that comment, Channing Frye gave us a little bit of a soundbite and effectively saying,
nobody celebrates these new people. So why the fuck would anybody want to be the face of this league? You're going to get shitted on every network for not being somebody from 40 fucking years ago.
Stephen A. Smith and a bunch of other people responded to that, but I didn't.
So, honest question when it comes to basketball, because remember, basketball's not my first sport. So please forgive me on my ignorance on that. But let me ask you guys this. Do you guys think that NBA basketball heads bring up Michael Jordan too much? Do you think that comparing everybody to Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant, but mostly to Michael Jordan, it's a bit unfair? That's always been my question.
Didn't necessarily deem it a big enough talking point to bring it to this channel. I actually did so on another channel of mine called The Lowlights. Go check it out, some stream highlights. But then from there, LeBron James, the player who has been the face of the NBA longer than anyone else, effectively said the exact same thing as well. Why would someone want to be the face of a league that completely and consistently gets shitted on and criticized routinely, unfairly, and unjustifiably?
I don't know. Why do you want to be the face of a league when all the people that that cover our game and talk about our game on a day-to-day basis on everybody? You have that responsibility. It's just weird. It's weird energy from the people that I don't know. But Channing, he said it. He said it perfectly. Couldn't say it no better. But
greatest shooter God has ever created 56 points. That's what we were going to lead the show with.
Till LeBron James opens his mouth. Oh, I can't wait to start today's show with that.
Crazy. I mean, you are quite literally proving the point. The criticism that LeBron had is how the game is being covered, and when having the opportunity to celebrate someone having a 56-point performance, you decide to pivot to something else. Already proven the point.
I'm gonna call it, like I said, this is straight BS. I'm not saying everything that he said was BS because I understand there's an enormous amount of pressure that gets elevated, fellas, when it comes to being the face of the league.
Fair use. Let me skip ahead a couple points.
Point. And the fact, not only did you decide to lead with this story, but the way in which you approach this story further proves the point that you missed the point and you are the problem, or at least a part of it. Because what I was trying to convey earlier this week, the big form of criticism became early on this season, where unfortunately Minnesota were not producing at the level in which many people thought. And you had a bunch of criticism being levied towards Anthony Edwards about how he's not playing that well, how he's regressed because he's shooting a bunch of threes. Be very mindful that Anthony Edwards is attempting 10 threes a game and making 40% of them. Anthony Edwards is quite literally having one of the greatest three-point shooting seasons of all time. And the response isn't, why does he have to do this? But of course, the immediate response would be, well, I need to be one of the very few three-point shooters on the team to get proper floor spacing to my unit. And his response was that of historic levels. Again, 10 three-pointers a game, making them at a 40% clip, but yet was.
Yeah, so I saw Anthony Edwards getting criticism for basically shooting too much threes, but he's actually shooting it at a high clip. And that was a little bit interesting to me. But he's going to make a point on this too.
Still hit with criticism, furthering the point. Why would I want to be the face of the NBA when the only time you ever even talk about me is either A, when you're comparing me to Michael Jordan, or you're telling me how bad I am? Why would I want to be the face of a league like that? And the fact that Stephen A.
Yeah, and Anthony Edwards has been getting a lot of MJ comparisons because of his trash talk and basically the way that he plays in his athleticism. His height, they have the same. They have a similar stature, similar facial structure. You know what I mean? So I always think it might be a bit the way that basketball heads are always they're always looking for another MJ, but they don't understand there's just going to be different players from different eras, right? So my opinion when it comes to measuring certain players from different eras, I always say it's just a different time. It's different eras. Me personally, I don't think specifically LeBron James is better than Michael, but I think it's the wrong comparison. It's almost like in soccer, it's almost like comparing an attacker to a midfielder. It's just they're just two different positions. You know what I mean? So I've always thought what we really should do, you just appreciate Michael Jordan from his era You appreciate Kobe from his era. You appreciate Steph Curry for this era. And you appreciate LeBron for what he brought to the table, right? Like when you witness players like a LeBron, a Kobe, a Michael, you just sometimes I'm not saying you can't compare them, but it's kind of pointless to compare them. You just gotta enjoy them for what they are. You know what I mean? And these constant comparisons to Mike to Mike, if you're not doing it like Mike, if you're not shooting it like Mike, if you're not doing step away back fades, you know what I mean? Fadeaway shots like Mike, then you're not doing it right. You know what I mean? And I think it's something that it's not good for the long term, because now the public wants Anthony Edwards to become the new face of the league, and he doesn't want it. You know what I mean? And if you ask the public who would they want, like not who they think is going to be the face of the league. If you ask the public or the NBA fans or the so-called basketball savants, who would they want who would they want in terms of choosing to pick to be the face of the league? They would want Anthony Edwards to play. They would want Anthony Edwards to be the face of the league because he reminds them most of MJ. So they want him to be the face of the league, even though there's other people that are better and are willing to take on that mantle, but nobody wants to give them that credit, aka Giannis Antetokounmpo, right? So I've always said, because the LeBron stands, they kind of take it personally. They take the hate personally. I'm like, well, it's not necessarily about LeBron per se. It's just his play style that many quote unquote basketball savants, they take his play style the wrong way.
Hey, Smith, this is the talking point that we have for you. And you immediately start shitting on some of the lowlights or low points in LeBron's career, of which really and truly aren't that low. That's crazy. Again, this topic is not about LeBron. It's about Anthony Edwards. It's not about LeBron. LeBron just chimed in, but it's about Anthony Edwards. And here you go again, talking about LeBron. Stephen A. Smith, for you to sit there and critique LeBron out of nowhere for something that has nothing to do with it, about him self-aggrandizing himself back in 2010 with the decision, for you to then end this segment talking about how your catalog and how y'all were first to everything and people need to go check your catalog. That's crazy. The irony for you to sit here and say that they're not going to agree.
Okay, so I want to get to that part, I think, past the Allen Iverson point, right? And I will say this: this guy, Legend of Winning, right? He brought up a great point about Allen Iverson, where a lot of people don't understand the love that Allen Iverson is getting now. He didn't get that kind of love when he was playing. You know what I mean? It's a lot of revisionist history being done by, media members when it comes to Allen Iverson. So Allen Iverson is getting love now, but when Allen Iverson was playing, this dude was probably one of the most over-criticized dudes in athlete history. You know what I mean? They was on this man's sack, so to speak. Like there's no other way to put it. They really, technically, they ran him out of the league. If we're being blunt about it. But now there's a lot of people playing revisionist history when it comes to Allen Iverson, because they say they love him now, but when he was playing, they didn't really give him that real love,
Because now what ends up happening is you live in nostalgia land, and now somebody has to take you out of it, because that's how you live. That's all that they live in. The truth to them doesn't exist because they remember it however they want to remember it, because that is their attempt to preserve history. And what ends up happening is we speak about Allen Iverson with such high reverence that people tend to forget all the things that he just said is true. Iverson didn't practice. That was a thing. That was a real thing. Iverson didn't practice. He went out there and party. He smoked. He drank. All those things. And like Iverson said in that clip, I was not Kobe. But what happens is, because Jordan was the face of the league and Kobe was the face of the league, they, for whatever reason, believe that everyone adopted their mentality. Those two are special. Those are in different classes. Okay, let's be clear. Same thing with LeBron. What LeBron is doing in year 22 at the age of 40, that's different. Those three are different. They're different. But what ends up happening is that's not how they tell the story. And so if you ever were to compare someone to Allen Iverson, they're going to view it through the lens of nostalgia. They're not going to bring up the fact that he didn't practice, that he was out late. He was out in
Well, it's not that he didn't practice, but it's when you're a star players are not OD practicing all the time. And people took that I think people took that practice clip way, 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 way out of context. And but I see what he's trying to say here, though. I see what he's
in the
trying
club.
to say.
He was doing his thing. He didn't take it as serious as someone like a Kobe Bryant, but that's not how they're going to present it to you. So now a player in today's game has to go up against someone like Allen Iverson, but not the true version of him, the one that they romanticize. So it's unfair. That's what people are trying to tell you. That comparing what's happening now back then, it's unfair. So when you sit here and you criticize, for example, the slam dunk contest, and you say something as silly as LeBron ruined it, it's unfair because what Stephen A. Smith doesn't tell you is back in the day, during the 90s, right after Jordan and Dominique had their terror of ridiculousness and entertainment in the late 80s, the 90s dunk contest was horrible. So bad that they literally canceled it.
But yeah, shout out to him for, in terms of calling out the nostalgia heads. And look, I deal with it with soccer. Trust me, there's a lot of nostalgia heads I'll be trying to deal with, in soccer. Right now, there's this thing where people are saying people are too robotic when they play. But that's let me not bring up soccer because it's not. I'm gonna lose the crowd. But he's talking about where basically we're comparing players to ghosts, and because people are always because people can't really let go of the 90s. That's really what it is. People just can't let go of the 90s. People need to let the 90s die. The 90s is not coming back. But because people can't let go of the 90s, today's players it's never going to be enough. It's never going to be good enough because they're not doing it like the star players, quote unquote, did it in the 90s. And really, it's just the old heads. They just don't want to let the 90s go. You even see it in rap. They don't want to let the 90s go. Let the 90s rest in peace. Respectfully. This is a new time. This is a different age. Exactly. He said it's too unfair. Truth Hunter says, yo, LeBron. He said, he said, yes, LeBron is more aggressive and Jordan is more tactical, calculated, both top players. Like, I don't even think LeBron's better than Jordan. But, and saying, like, you know what I mean? But I think the coverage on him basketball-wise is a bit unfair because we're comparing him to somebody that's not even, Jordan and LeBron are two different players. The comparison for LeBron should be Magic, right? Because those are like their play style is very similar. So that should be the comparison. Do you think LeBron's better than Magic? That's really what should be the argument, right? But there's always going to be people always bringing up Jordan, LeBron. They're always trying to do these comparisons and it turns toxic. And this is why now you have these new young players, these new American young players. They want nothing to do with being the face of the league. They don't want the responsibility because they look at the way that the public treats Michael Jordan compared to everybody else. And if you're not Michael Jordan, then you suck. That's basically how the media basically treats basketball players, right? Truth Hunter says LeBron's longevity is impressive. It is, man. Oh, shout out to AJ in the chat. He said AJ says Jordan captured the imagination of the entire world. Then they had the dream team. LeBron does have an unfair amount of scrutiny. Well, yeah, but that's his point. You know what I mean? That's his point. That's why today's players, they don't want to be the face of the league because nobody's ever going to compare to Jordan. And basically, it is not necessarily us, the people, the talking heads on TV. They need to let go of the 90s. You know what I mean? They got to let it go. The 90s is a great reference point. Trust me. I know this, like, even in music, The 90s is a great reference point. Trust me. And, you know, people talk about the golden era of hip hop, right? Or they want to talk about the early 2000s when it comes to R&B, when R&B was making a comeback, right? It's a great reference point. But you gotta let the other people under you, the younger people, shine. You gotta let other eras flourish. You gotta give players their proper dues. Because look, if we're gonna compare everybody to Michael Jordan, it's never gonna be good enough. Right? It's never gonna be good enough. And I'm not gonna bring no soccer comparisons. I'm not gonna bring up soccer comparisons because I'm gonna lose the crowd. I'm gonna lose the crowd because I think about it the same. You know, there's a lot of players that many people consider the GOATs in soccer, and I don't even argue with them because each of these people, they have a case. They have a case, but I gotta let it slide. AJ says the NBA in the 1990s had so many rivalries and really deified the players. Yeah, that's true. And then of course, especially when you talk about the Jordan sneakers, the sneakers that Jordan was balling on the court, men today use it as a style reference. So, yeah. He said modern NBA players aren't larger than life, like Jordan Bird and etc. Exactly. So, and then you have social media. So everybody just seems accessible. So there's no aura really attached to a lot of these today's players. He said this is the league's fault, though they aren't allowing stars to flourish. That's true. Oh, he said, are you going to drop the StreamYard link? I don't know. Because I didn't want to drop it for this topic. not for this topic. I wanted to do I wanted to possibly for the high school track star. I wanted to probably do that for. Let me see. He said people think Messi is better than Maradona and Pele and Ronaldo too. Well, that's the thing. So you'll have the people of the Maradona era. I know a lot of people like that. Nobody will. There are people in my life. Maradona, like Messi, there's nothing Messi that Messi could do today. In their minds, there's nothing that Messi could do that could make them top Maradona in their mind. Because Maradona, when he came out, he was larger than life, right? Same with who else? There were Ronaldo Nazario, the Brazilian Ronaldo. Even though his injuries basically stopped him from being the best player of all time, you'll have people today, they still think Brazilian Ronaldo is the best player they've ever seen, right? So it kind of stops them from giving credit to today's players, the Mbappes of the world, Haaland, right? Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, you know. But let me not talk about soccer. I'm gonna lose the public. I'm gonna lose the public.
They don't tell you that. It would feel like, oh man, recently it just feels like the dunk contest has been so bad. The dunk contest has always been hit or miss. They don't tell you how players back then used to miss games all the time and do whatever they want to do because everyone again was not Michael Jordan. Everyone again was not Kobe Bryant. Everyone was not playing 82 games. Everyone wasn't Karl Malone. Everyone wasn't those players. There's several players who missed games back then. And I would much rather have someone missing games due to low management and trying to preserve their body rather than taking trips to Vegas. But they don't tell you those things. So when it comes to being the face of the NBA or just any star in today's league,
and he's gonna bring up Dennis Rodman as a point in terms of a dude that was just allowed to miss games, which is gonna be a great point that he brings up.
You're being compared to Michael Jordan, the legacy, but not the losing, not the process, not everything that came along with it, not the bad press or him being a ball hog. All it is 6-0. And please don't tell me that's not what it's been, because we all know every debate boils down to that anyway. When it comes to being compared to Kobe Bryant, it's just Kobe Bryant, Mamba mentality, 5 championships, not all the other things that came along with it, all the process, the losing, which is crazy to me because people act as if like they've always loved Kobe, and that's not a fact. There are people on ESPN right now who used to trash Kobe, but for whatever reason, to get off with big facts.
I remember people want to have love for Kobe now, but when Kobe, there was people talking crazy on Kobe's name when he was alive. Like I'm talking about even in like 2019, like 3 years past his retirement. So great point there. Great point.
For whatever narrative they need to get off, now all of a sudden they just he was always beloved. No, he was not. When it comes to Allen Iverson, you get compared to the romanticized version of him, not the man who didn't play hard in practice, who was out smoking and drinking, who wasn't as dedicated as a lot of his peers. When you get compared to Vince Carter, you're getting compared to the nostalgia version of him, not the man who everyone believed quit on the Toronto Raptors. When you get compared to Charles Barkley, you get
now everything that he's saying, he's not lying. Because I remember, I used to research these things when I was a younger kid. I would look up at these old articles. Vince Carter got a lot of criticism. Tracy McGrady got a lot of criticism. But if you're looking through it from the from the nostalgia heads, you'd have thought Tracy McGrady was Jesus Christ. You know, you know what I mean? I remember Tracy McGrady getting criticism for not having enough playoff success. I remember these things. But too many people are caught up in the the nostalgia. Oh, so let me bring this up. So AJ said Zion had the best chance to be the new wonder kid of the NBA, and he messed that up. He had the imagination of the whole country. This is true. And same with Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards. But like I said, these guys, I think they're self-sabotaging on purpose because I think they don't want to be the face of the league. They don't want it. And we have to look at ourselves, us people in the media, and we need to be honest about how we cover these athletes. We need to be honest. We need to be honest how we cover these athletes because I think these people are self-sabotaging on purpose. I think they're doing because you see the stuff that Zion be. I'm like, what is he doing? This dude is. I think subconsciously they're doing it on purpose because they really don't want the response. They don't want all the nonsense that comes with being the face of the league. And you're right. Zion had people watching college basketball. But I think they're self-sabotaging for a reason. I think the self-sabotaging is a symptom, though. It's a symptom of something bigger, and our media is very toxic. It's very toxic because we don't really give them especially today's players. It's 24/7. It's 24/7 news. It's 24/7 sports news. Back in the day, it's just certain segments, and there weren't personalities out to specifically target certain players like we have today. Like I can name 3 or 4 people that have made their name off of just bashing LeBron James or just bringing up LeBron James' name. I can name 3 or 4 people off top. And we already know who they are. We don't have to mention their names here, where they made their career mentioning LeBron's name in a negative light. There are people in sports media that made their name off of criticizing Allen Iverson that have jobs to this day, right? People in conservative media that had a lot to say about Allen Iverson that made their name off that. So a lot of our favorite stars from the 90s, they did not really have to deal with that. I'm not saying they didn't have no negative press, but they didn't really have to deal with that. Not to that extent. Not to that extent. Enoch says, to be fair, Messi is always going to be better than Cristiano. I think Messi's better than Cristiano Ronaldo. I thank God that Cristiano Ronaldo played for Manchester United, because I believe if he never played for Manchester United, I don't think he would have gotten the credit that he does, the GOAT credit that he deserves. You know what I mean? If he said Ronaldinho was a great player, yeah, there's people today that still think that stint he had from 2000 from that the stint that Ronaldinho had from 2003 through 2006-ish, 2007-ish, they believe that version of Ronaldinho was the greatest player that they've ever seen. There's people that I know to this day, they still think that, you know. And remember, there's no Messi without Ronaldinho. There's no Messi without Ronaldinho. Bottom line. So this is where the respect comes in. This is where honor. This is where you do have to honor people from the past. This is where that comes in, right? Yeah, too much media coverage. Too much media coverage. Henoch says, but now he's became a true one. They probably are. Yeah. Let me see, because he's gonna make a point about Jason Tatum that I want to he made a great point about Jason Tatum, and shout out to Jason. I feel so bad for Jason Tatum. He's gonna bring it up right here real quick.
You can compare to the round amount of rebound, not the man who purposely gained weight so he didn't get drafted to a certain team, who then cried and complained about being on the Sixers, so much so that he had tantrums on the floor, kicking people, spitting on children. The man that tried to force his way to the Portland Trailblazers on his own merit, flew out there, talked to the general manager, told him who he needed to trade so he can build a super team alongside Clyde Drexler. Most people don't even know that story, but it's a fact. Charles Barkley himself has openly admitted it. You don't get compared to the Scottie Pippen who quit on his team. You get compared to the hard-nosed defender. Even though these are all things that are part of the story of who all of these people are. Anthony Edwards.
By the way, Scottie Pippen is a pure hater. Pure hater. Pure hater. The more I hear him talk, the less respect that I have for him.
That he does not want to be the face of the NBA. Why? Y'all forcing a label on him by comparing him to Michael Jordan, even though he's telling y'all, bro, I'm not there yet. Don't do it. And then after he exceeded expectations last year.
So right here, let me rewind it real quick. Let me rewind that real quick.
Super team alongside Clyde Drexler. Most people don't even know that story, but it's a fact.
Let's pause it right here, and I want you guys to please pay attention for these next probably minute and a half. This is where he starts hitting the points that I've been that really intrigued me right here.
Charles Barkley himself has openly admitted it. You don't get compared to the Scottie Pippen who quit on his team. You get compared to the hard-nosed defender. Even though these are all things that are part of the story of who all of these people are. Anthony Edwards saying that he does not want to be the face of the NBA. Why? Y'all forcing a label on him by comparing him to Michael Jordan, even though he's telling y'all, bro, I'm not there yet. Don't do it. And then after he exceeded expectations last year, inside the NBA, ESPN, first things first, most of these major media legacy networks have not said anything about Anthony Edwards outside of how he's regressed. He's not playing that good. All he's doing is jump shot shooting, even though he is historically great from behind the arc this season. 10 threes, making him at a 40% clip. And while all this is happening, Jason Tatum is sitting right there saying, it's me. I'm the face of the NBA. Giannis sitting right there saying, I'll be the face of the NBA. Put me on the Christmas games. I'm here. And in response to what y'all saying, Giannis, you're a foreigner, and I'm xenophobic, so I don't give a damn. Tatum, it's a no, even though both y'all won championships. Giannis, a multi-MVP, DPOY. Both y'all had playoff success, been dominant, has seen a lot of success. It's a no. You know why it's a no? Because you don't remind me of Michael Jordan. You don't love Anthony Edwards, or you want him to be the face of the NBA because you love Ant. You want Anthony Edwards to be the face of the NBA and put that pressure on him because he reminds you of someone else. Think about that.
Now, that point right there, I'm going to keep it a buck with you. I agree with that. I completely agree with that, especially when he brought up Jason Tatum and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Right? Here you have Giannis. He's like, look, am I not the face of the league? But people don't want. It's just y'all. It's just the basketball savants and the old heads and the nostalgia warriors. They just won't allow. They just in their minds, Giannis is not allowed to be the face of the NBA. Why? Because he's from a different country. Let's keep it a Let's keep it a buck. And then his play style, they just think that he's not a skilled enough type player, so he's not allowed to be the face of the NBA. And then then you're like, okay, how about Jason Tatum? He's mind you, he's a Kobe fan, but they just like Jason Tatum, he's married, he's got a kid, he has the traditional family, he plays for the Boston Celtics, a traditional NBA superpower. And you know what the NBA media is like when it comes to Jason Tatum? They're just like, he's too boring. You can't win. How come Jason Tatum don't get the credit that he deserves, bro? How come Jason, he just recently won a championship. He's one of the best players in the league, if not the best. He has an argument for that. He's on a great team. He's on a great franchise. He's a great role model. He's a family man. He checks all the boxes. But the legacy media and these people, they're just like, nah. He loves Kobe. But they're just like, nah. We want Anthony Edwards to be it. We want Zion Williamson to be it. So it's not even a matter of, because what LeBron's saying is actually some real ish. He said, why would anybody want to be the face of the league? But you have people that do want to be the face of the league, and they just don't want to give them the mantle. And why don't they want to give Jason Tatum the mantle? Why don't they want to give Giannis Antetokounmpo the mantle? And they want it. They want to be that guy. Giannis Antetokounmpo, he's family mantle. He has all of that. Why don't they want to give them the mantle? So this is where I have to side with LeBron James here, because he's saying nobody really who wants it. But at the same time, you do have people that want it, and you have the basically the people in the NBA. You have these they want Anthony Edwards to be it, because really it's not necessarily because of his skill. Sorry, it's not because of his skill, but it's because of his personality and his play style. And both his personality and his play style reminds them of Michael Jordan. So they want him to be the guy. It's really weird what we're doing. You know what I mean? It's weirdo stuff that we're doing, especially with Giannis, because Giannis he doesn't mind being that guy, but they don't want to give him the mantle because he's from another country. He's not from America. People are just hoping to God that this kid from Duke, I'm blanking on his name, Cooper Flag. I hope I'm saying his name right. They're just hoping that he's the guy. Oh man, and you're just like, well, you already have people here that, and you actually have some American players here that actually do want to be the face, but you just don't want to give them. They just don't want to give them their flowers. They don't want to give them the love. And they're trying to force it on Anthony. They're trying to force the mantle on Anthony Edwards. And that's why I think a lot of these players like Anthony Edwards, John Morant, Zion Williamson, I think that's why they're self-sabotaging themselves, because they're just trying to make themselves, it's like they know they want none of what it comes with being the face of the league. So they're just self-sabotaging, so they can always use that as an excuse, like, hey, I can get, because what they want the money that comes with being on an NBA team, but not necessarily everything else, because everything else is pretty much overrated. They realize, hey, I can be like a Nikola Jokic or who else is a low-key star that gets a lot of money? A Kawhi Leonard, one of these people. Low-key star, but they still get supermax contract deals. They're still getting the same supermax contract if they're the best player of a region per se. If they're still one of the top stars, they're still going to get top star money. And then and then at the same time, I don't have face of the league responsibilities. That's what they figure. They don't want anything that comes along with that. And then the guys that actually do want to be the face of the league, they won't even allow them to be the face of the league. It's a great point he brings up.
This shit it's still not even about Anthony Edwards. It's deep rooted to Michael Jordan propaganda. This whole conversation. Giannis is right there. You say no because you're not from America like MJ was. Tatum is right there saying, I want it. You're from America, but my dick don't get hard. And I don't get that special tingly feeling like I did when MJ was playing. But boy, that brother out there in Minnesota, the way he does that shimmy baseline fade, it reminds me of Jordan. That's
okay. I think he's taking it too far with that. I think he's taking it too far right there. But he brings up that's a great point. You know what I mean? Especially him bringing up Giannis and Jason Tatum. That's a great point because they want to be the face of the league. Establishment just won't let them be the face of the league because they want to give it to Anthony Edwards. And then you're just like, okay, so why do you want Anthony Edwards to be that guy? Why? And really the reality is because Anthony Edwards reminds them of MJ more. His personality, his play style. So it's not even that they love Anthony Edwards for who he is. They just think because he reminds them of MJ, they want to give him more credit.
That's why he has to have it. Yes, he has to have it. Because he reminds me of an era of basketball that I love to romanticize, and I'm stuck in nostalgia. You missed the point, but you did it on purpose because you don't want to admit what the fuck you've been doing for years now, the damage that you've done. Everything is deep-rooted in nostalgia baiting. You don't even love Ant. Why are you this upset about it? You don't even really love that brother. He just reminds you of Michael Jordan. That's it. But yo, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Until next time, I'll see you later.
I agree. Now, I'm not sure who this guy is. I haven't really done my recon on this man. I just remember he got caught with some hoes or with a hoe, right? But you know, this I agree. I agree with this. Does he have that Gil clip? Oh yeah, so he has the Gil Arenas clip. He has the Gil Arenas clip. So let me even show that part. Let me show that part. That was a great point right here. Let me show this.
To do two things, provide entertainment and to also provide analysis. And very few are better at the entertainment portion, especially this show, than first, right? But the analysis is, I think, what players are looking for more. Even today's show is a good example. How much have we talked about Steph Curry dropping 56 and those 391 points? But the conversations that are overarching sometimes do a disservice to the league when you think about all the achievements that some teams have had. I mean, we're at a point where there are multiple teams.
You know what I mean? And guys like Stephen A. Smith, and I'll say, and I got love for Inside the NBA, but they're part of the problem as well. And other NBA talking heads from that played in the 90s or in the 80s, right? This is why I got respect for a Isaiah Thomas. Because at least, as much as he praises his era, at least he still has the wherewithal to at least still praise the players that are in this era. Same with Allen Iverson. He always has something positive to say about the players of this era, you know. But a lot of the people in the media, particularly in basketball media, they ruin the experience. They completely ruin the experience.
Teams that can come out of the Western Conference, but these are the natures of the conversations that we're having.
I will come back to you on that. Go ahead, girl.
You just completely dismissed everything she said, even though what she clearly got the sentiments of what LeBron was trying to say, and he completely dismissed it.
Bleeping on the league every day. We celebrate the league. We talk about it, but it's competition. Some are going to be rated high, some are going to be rated low. You're talking about it. They brought the Inside the NBA weeks ago. Inside the NBA, Barkley, Kenny Smith, Shaq. Are you kidding me? They denigrate the game. We denigrate the game.
The fact that he said it that way is crazy. Yes, they denigrate the game. I think they're actually the worst at denigrating the game.
Because if the audience is telling us, I'm talking about in terms of what we talk about. I'm talking about in terms of what we talk about. The audience decides because
If the audience reacts to you talking about Tatum, I said if the audience reacts to you talking about Tatum less than they react to you talking about LeBron, you are going to talk about LeBron more.
What about the audience reacting to Stephen A. talking? What about the audience reacting to Stephen A. talking? You have power.
You have the most power.
You have the most power. I think that's what the players realize.
So what do y'all say? You have the most power. I talk about it. No. I talk about it.
You're saying lead the audience, that you can be the trailblazer, lead the audience.
I can make an argument, and Molly can attest to this. I can go back in the archives and show you that I've done things on First Take in this show. First Take has done things in terms of subjects that we've tackled that nobody would even touch until we tackled this.
Man, the irony of how all of this ended, and yes, that is quite literally how the segment ended. Stephen A. Smith, for you.
So yeah, man, I think guys like Stephen A. Smith, they're he's definitely part of the problem. So low-key, I was happy when LeBron had approached Stephen A. on the court to say stop talking about my son. I like that. I like that. Anyways, let's bring it back. What time is it right now? 10:30. Holy. All right. Let's bring up the track star again. Let's bring it back to the point. Let's see if I missed some chats. Let me make sure I didn't miss no chats. Here we go. Shout out to Educated Tyrone. Yeah, Cooper. I think his name is Cooper Flag or something. The guy. But we already have guys that want to be, and they don't want to give him their credit. He said, or they just want to get paid and move on, like that one NFL player who quit after getting $54 million and became a farmer. I know who you're talking about, but I forgot his name. Exactly. Yeah, and then on top of that, Truth Hunter said, yeah, Anthony Edwards is also a drama/ratings farm. Exactly. Facts. He said drama from possibly being Jordan's real son. And that's why the media even loves Jimmy Butler. There's something to that, man. There's something to that. Yeah, the Tatum's like Tatum does everything right. And I'm like, so you're looking for face of the league. Why not Tatum? This got to be the most discriminated light-skinned ninja of all time. This baffles me. This stuff be baffling me. You know, but they're saying, you know what they like to say, oh, Tatum's boring. And you're just like, but okay. Because they're looking at like the clicks. They just look at the clicks and they're just like, oh, okay, Jason Tatum, he doesn't generate enough clicks. You know what I mean? So that's because that's kind of the era we're in. It's all about the clicks. It's all about the thumbnail. It's all about that initial who has that kind of personality. But then they moved the goalpost for that because Giannis has a great personality, but he's not from America. So, and he plays a certain way, so they're not going to give him his credit. But anyways, let's go back to this story right here. All right, let's read it from the New York Post. Let's read it from the New York Post, and you're gonna see a lot of ads. That's gonna. I'm sorry for the ads that you're gonna see, and it's gonna be basically me snitching on myself. Hold on, it says allow ads. I gotta have to pause it. Pause ad block on this site. So sorry for the ads in advance. Because you're gonna see the ads, you're like, God damn it, Chris, this all you search. I don't know if I can exit out of these things. Okay. We got the Virginia high school track star attacked by baton wielding opponent during the state title race. Virginia high school sprinter suffered a concussion and potential skull fracture when her competitor smashed her in the back of her head with a relay baton during a race. Brookville High School junior Kaelen Tucker was the second leg runner for the 4x200 meter relay at the VHSL Class 3 State Indoor Championships at Liberty University on Friday. Tucker, who had earned silver in the girls' 55-meter dash earlier in the meet was attempting to cut into the lane 1 during a battle for second place in the front pack as she was rounding turn 4, right? Brookville High School junior Kaelen Tucker races in a 4x200, blah, 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 blah. That's just a caption. He said, instead of blocking her entry, Tucker's opponent, who attends Norcom High School, seemingly slowed down, wound up her arm, and smacked the baton across the Brookville runner's head, according to a video of the incident. When we get into the other side of the track, we had to cross into lane 1. You have to merge in. And as I was coming up on her, she kind of made me get cut off a little bit. So I backed away. She's capping. He said, when we got to the curve, she kept bumping me in my arm. When we got off the curve, I finally passed her. And that was when she hit me with the baton. An audible gasp was heard from the crowd inside the Lynchburg, Virginia complex as Tucker detoured off the track, grabbing her head and falling to the ground. Tucker's mother and team trainers rushed to the ailing high schooler's side. So this is the woman here that got hit. So this is the young lady that got hit by the other young lady. Unfortunately, her name is Kaelen Tucker. This is the woman that got hit. And notice the composure that she has. You know, I'm about to show you the video, and you know she got hit hard because this is the last 100 meters. These are the last 100 meters. This is the last 100 meters of the race. And by the way, just to let you guys know, track, I'm telling you from experience because I did run a little bit of track in high school. Track is a very physical sport. You guys might not know this, but track is a very physical sport. It's a very underrated sport when it comes to physicality. Ask anybody that ran cross country. Ask anybody that ran cross country. You're going to hear stories upon stories about people getting pushed into the bushes, people getting pushed into puddles, people tripping people. I remember when I was a freshman at my high school, and they had these people tripped my teammates in the FCAC playoffs. Oh man, I'm saying too much. They got my teammates got tripped, right? So track is it's not only is a physical sport, it's a very dirty sport. There's a lot of the most dirtiest players I've seen, they do track, by the way. Okay. You say the quick action discipline wasn't enough for Tucker or her family, who claim IC Norcom's coach nor the runner apologized to them. So they said they didn't even get an apology. Okay. But yeah, this is crazy. Let's watch the video. Let's watch the video of the official news report, and then I'm gonna show you. They found the girl that hit the that hit Kaelen on the top of her head. So, and then I'm gonna show you her reaction.
Tonight, a family is looking for an apology after they say their daughter was attacked in the middle of a track meet. Tonight, 10 News reporter Jason Freund spoke with the family about the alleged incident.
When Kaelen Tucker,
fair use, by the way, fair use,
first wanted to start up track, her parents were naturally proud.
She started in 8th grade, but originally she went in 7th grade, and she said it was too much running and she quit. So she ended up going back and doing it again in 8th grade, and she only wanted to do sprints.
Fast forward to her junior year of high school, and she found herself running in the Class 3 state finals for Brookville High School. But nobody could have seen this coming.
When you get on the other side of the track, you have to cross into lane 1. You have to merge in. And as I was,
man, you can literally see her getting dropped. She wound up and said, "Pop." Like I said, track is one of the more dirtier sports. People probably might not know this. I'm putting y'all. I might be putting some of y'all on game, but track, cross country, some of the dirtiest people you'll ever see. They do track. They'll trip you. They'll push you out of the way. It'll be people trying to trip you, try to push you because they're everybody's fighting to be in the inside lane. You know. He's educated. Tyrone said, "I hate when Stephen A. Smith says the face of the league has to be American." Yeah, educated Tyrone said, "I almost got trampled in cross country." Yeah, just let him know. Cross country is a dirty sport, dog. People don't know. Like, man, the stories that people have told me, what I've witnessed. I used to think, oh, I thought I didn't think you really had to worry about that when it came to track. Nah, man. Especially because in cross country, you're running in the woods, you're running in these terrains. They don't have officials and referees and stuff. They don't even have that. Not really. And there's nobody in the woods monitoring what's happening. So it's a free for all. People be getting into full blown on fights in cross country. People don't notice. Truth Hunter said some kids at one school got disqualified for marbles. He said heard people talking about it at lunch when I was 14. So what they were caught throwing marbles or something. Like this is this, you know, like I remember, somebody, I remember I heard a story, somebody threw, like, it wasn't like a rock, they threw like a boulder type rock at somebody in the woods, and nobody wanted to explain what happened, and even the person that was running didn't say who did it, but everybody saw what happened. It was one of those situations. Cross country is a dirty sport, man. And track is very physical. It's a physical sport. It's a very physical sport. Long distance. It's a very physical sport.
coming up on her, she kind of like made me like get cut off a little bit. So I backed away. And then as we got around the curve, she kept bumping me in my arm. And then finally, when we got off the curve, I like slowly started passing her. And then that's when she just hit me with the baton and I fell off the track.
Kaelen ran off the track and her mother ran onto it. Team trainers came to her aid and the opposing school, IC Norcom, was quickly disqualified. But the damage had already been done.
I could feel like a headache.
So shout out. It looks like the officials, they saw it and then they disqualified the girl.
It coming up, so I just set out. But I recently went to the doctor and they prescribed me with a concussion and a possible fractured skull.
Now her parents are looking for an apology. They've got one already from the IC Norcom athletic director and the opposing athlete's parents. Now they just want one from the coach and the opposing athlete herself.
They were beside us at the event. They were watching the video at the event, but no one apologized or came to check on her. Even if it was a fluke or freak accident, you still would check on her.
For 10 News, I'm Jason Freund.
Even if it was by accident, there still should be an apology. You know what I mean? But you know, it's crazy how that works. This the society we live in right now. And we're gonna you see how like composed the young lady is in her response. Hold on. We're gonna let it play out, and then I'm gonna replay that part.
Working for you.
And we've reached out to the Virginia High School League for a comment. They tell us that they're still reviewing the situation, but they do not comment on individuals or disciplinary actions.
Hold on for a second.
Check on her. Even if it was a fluke or freak accident, you still would check on her.
Headache coming up, so I just set out. But I recently went to the doctor and they prescribed me with a concussion and a possible fractured skull.
Now her parents.
You see how like professional, composed, you know what I mean? She's just saying what happens. And she should be the one crying. So this is where we're going to skip ahead. Watch this. They found the girl. They found the girl that did this. They found her. Now, they found the girl that did this, and she's gonna be crying, trying to defend her quote unquote innocence, even though she's already been disqualified. Everybody's seen the video, and she's the one that pulled off the cowardly act by striking the opponent on the head, but she's crying. Watch this right here.
I'm just a person by myself. Nobody's gonna believe me because I can admit from the video.
Was that a smoke alarm I chirp I heard in the background? What? Oh my God. You can't make this stuff up.
Video, it does look purposeful, but I know my intentions and I would never hit somebody on purpose. I'm just a person by myself. Nobody's gonna believe me because I can admit from the video it does look purposeful, but I know my intentions and I would never hit somebody on purpose.
Yep, that was a smoke chirp alarm. That was a smoke alarm chirp. You can't make this stuff up, guys. You can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up, man.
So on the back curve, I had kind of got cut off when I tried to pass her the first time. So I let her go ahead. So I knew like when I got fully on the curve that I was just going to have to push through and pass her.
Then out of turn 4, a strike with the metal baton to Tucker's head.
And everybody in the crowd saw it. That's the crazy thing. Well, everybody, the video saw it, the committee saw it. That's why she got disqualified. You know what I mean?
Sends her reeling. Officials immediately disqualified the team from IC Norcom, but the damage was done.
I still can't believe it. I'm still in shock. Like everyone's texting me, checking up on me, and I appreciate that. But like, I'm still trying to take it all in. I can't believe it happened.
Tucker's now dealing with the effects of a concussion and a possible skull fracture. Now all the Tuckers want is an apology and an explanation.
Why did you do it, and why haven't you apologized yet? Oh, on the back.
So you see how her response, you see her family, you see her the dad, you see the mom, you see a structure. You don't hear no smoke alarm, and you don't hear no smoke alarm chirp in the background, and you just see the calmness. But in this society,
I'm just a person by myself. Nobody's gonna believe me because
you just hear the smoke chirp alarm. That's all you need to see right there. That's all you need to see. That's all you need to hear. Oh, so I got the full video here too as well from Twitter.
everybody has feelings. So you're physically hurt, but you're not thinking of my mental, right? They're going off of one angle. A couple times hitting her, my baton got stuck behind her back like this, and it rolled up her back. I lost my balance, and when I pumped my arms again, she got hit. I know my intentions, and I would never hit somebody on purpose. They're assuming my character, calling me ghetto, racist slurs, death threats, all of this just because of a 9-second video. Everybody has feelings. So
zero accountability. But like I said, I made the comparison earlier on where why is she crying? This is the crazy part. It should be in reverse. It should be Kaelen Tucker crying. You know what I mean? And her being smug. But it's the reverse. It's the reverse. And right here, Educated Tyrone, he's bringing up the Chris Rock was more composed after the slap. If you guys remember, Will Smith was sitting there crying after you had people checking up on Will Smith like he was the one that got slapped. Meanwhile, now you have Chris Rock is the one more composed, not crying, keeping a strong face. Mind you, Will Smith is the bigger, more physical human And here you have Chris Rock showing more mental strength. And Chris Rock showed a lot of restraint in not hitting her back. In not hitting him back. Well, Will Smith is a bitch, so he probably could. I could call him a her. But anyways, this is, and then when you look at ninjas in general, they're on Will Smith's side. Believe it or not, they are on Will Smith's side. But this is kind of the society we living in right now, where you have a dude or a woman will assault you, and that person is crying afterwards after they did the whole action on you. Remember when no, let me leave that point for later. Educated Tyrone said, even in the heat of the moment, he made it look like a skit at first, but Will ruined it by yelling. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Chris Rock actually let it slide in the heat of the moment. Chris Rock actually tried to play it off. And especially him restraining himself physically, they could have got, because Chris Rock knew as if he hit back and a whole fight happened, it would have literally set black people back 1,000 years. Black people would have been set back 1,000 years. Like after that award ceremony, if Chris Rock and Will Smith got it down on the stage, we would have left that. It would have been, they would have had like the chains waiting for us. If ninjas left the house the next morning, they would have literally had chains waiting for us. This is ridiculous. Meanwhile, Chris Rock has to put up the mental strength barrier, and he was the one that got assaulted. But this is what it is now. He said she apologized, but it's not sincere. Nah, that was she didn't even, like, this woman, this young lady, she didn't give no apology. That was no apology. And yep, we heard that chirp. We heard that smoke alarm. Truth Hunter says she crying like a kid who got caught putting their hand in a cookie jar after midnight. Yo, remember, watch this, Truth Hunter. Let me give you something real quick, because ninjas are hilarious sometimes because they like to play moral police. Ninjas always like to act like they're the standard of morality. Remember when Grayson Allen was acting a plump fool? Like he'd be going around tripping people and then crying afterwards because this guy is just a weirdo, a psychopath, right? Or was it a sociopath? I don't know. I don't know what the right term is, right? And they kept talking about white privilege and him being spoiled, and this is why he acts the way he acts. But people kept narrowing it down to race. So I was like, no, this guy's just a piece of ish. And I'm like, there's plenty of black people that act like this. So I'm like, we got Draymond Green in the NBA, Patrick Beverly, no disrespect. You just got dirtiness, foul play. It's not limited to race. You know what I mean? And then here we are, the same people that will call Grayson Allen a piece of ish, they taking Will Smith's side. They taking Will Smith's side. Are you kidding me? Wow. Wow. Then they had the nerve to talk about white people shooting up schools and stuff. But we'll leave that alone. He said, yeah, Chris Rock ate that slap. Facts. Crazy. Yeah, Grayson Allen, he was a piece of work. He was a piece of work. I think, you know what it is? I think a lot of, well, nah, I don't want to give him I don't want to give ninjas an excuse. I'm not even gonna give him an excuse, but I'll say, yeah, Grayson Allen. This dude, it's not necessarily something was wrong. It's just something was wrong with that dude, bro. He was like, he really had like this dude would be tripping people. Oh yeah, Mac Jones, the when he was playing for the Patriots, he was sitting there tripping people. I'm like, what's wrong with this guy? Mac Jones, Ndamukong Suh stepping on people. There's just people. They when things are not going their way, they be doing some strange things, man. Some really strange things. Let me see. Yeah, Embiid is a dirty player. Yes. 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 Educated Tyrone says Embiid always throws his weight on people in vulnerable situations or trips them. Yep, he does that. He does that. He said he's almost as bad as Draymond. He just doesn't play often, so you don't notice it. But there's people like that. They're built where if things don't go their way, instead of just accepting their laws, they just start being dirty. But they're you know what I mean? Like there's a difference between a person that's consistently aggressive and then there's like dirty players. Like I was gonna give a soccer example, but how about this here? Like Patrick Beverly, he can be dirty, but he's just a consistently aggressive guy. That's how he got himself into the NBA. But he be getting people hurt. So that's why I'm like, I don't know. This guy's a hack. You know what I mean? Respectfully. But I'll say, how about this? Like, I'm trying to give an example. Like Ray Lewis, he wasn't a dirty player, but he was just a consistently aggressive player. So it's not personal. He's just aggressive. But then there's just some people, they don't do no dirty stuff. But then once they start not getting their way, they start losing. Then they start doing like real, like life-threatening dirty plays. Where you're just like, yo, what kind of person are you? You know? Or Brian Dawkins. That would be the like Brian Dawkins is just an aggressive player. It's nothing personal. It's just he's aggressive. It's nothing personal. But then you got certain people, they'll get mad at you and then they'll start targeting your knees. When you look at what was that guy's name in college that had that gruesome leg injury? What's his name? Marcus Lattimore or Marshawn Lattimore? It was the running back for Southern Carolina. If people don't remember, but that guy, he aimed straight at his leg. Straight at his leg. That was a dirty ass play. He went for a beeline at his leg, at his leg, and his leg was like planted. His leg stood no chance. Lattimore, yeah, his name. I forgot his name. Lattimore. If you look at that play, I think it was the Tennessee player. He went for a beeline straight at his planted leg. That was a dirty play. They said, "Nah, we finna," and like there's just people built like that where basically if things don't go their way, they start being mad dirty. Things don't go their way, they start being dirty. I think, yeah, Marcus Lattimore. I think that was his name. Marcus Lattimore. Thank you. You know, you got to be careful. Like you got to be careful about that, man. It's just people built like that. They start losing by a lot of points. All of a sudden, they start putting in late tackles on you. They start leaving their leg out because things are not going their way. And it's usually star players that usually get their way. And then when they stop getting their way, their true colors come out. That's usually who it comes from. It comes from players that usually get their way, and once they start facing some resistance and things are not going their way, then they start being dirty. Hate players like that. I'm not even gonna like I can respect a consistently aggressive player. I know when somebody's just aggressive. Like I remember there's this one player I was playing I would play pickup with, and people would take it personally because he would play hard. He wasn't playing dirty, he was playing hard, but I'm like and I think I was the first one to be like, nah, he's just an aggressive player. He's not yelling in people's face. He's just an aggressive player. He's not dirty. So a lot of people can't tell the difference between that, right? But I remember facing a player. This dude clearly he didn't get his way one time, and this dude lost all of his composure. I'm talking about all of his composure. It tends to happen with players that are like star players that usually get their way, but then they actually come across somebody that it's not giving them their way, and then their true colors come out. Oh, a perfect example. Let me bring this player up. Do you guys know the female football player from England? Her name is Lauren James. Lauren James. She's the sister of Chelsea star Reese James. Do you guys know who this chick is? This dirty bitch. Mind you, she's an attacking player. She's an attacking player. Do you guys remember the Women's World Cup in 2023? Where she got a red card because she right here, and I did a video on. I remember doing a video on this. It's crazy, absolute wild. This is the picture where she straight up stepped on the Nigerian woman player's backside. I remember because this is not the first time Lauren James has done stuff like that. Anytime Lauren James, because she usually gets her way. She usually gets her way because she's an attacker, right? But this sister here, I forgot what her name is, but she plays in the Women's American Soccer League, right? Women's Pro Soccer League, the highest division, right? She had Reese James in her pocket. She had Reese James on, like she had her on lock. Reese James wasn't able to go nowhere. She had her on lock. I'm talking about on lock and key. I remember that game. She had her on lock. She could not get past her. No matter what dribbles she was getting, she could not get past her. And she was getting very frustrated, very frustrated. And when the time came, homegirl got pushed to the ground. She straight up, and then she stepped on her. Now, Reese James, she got a red card. Obviously, she got sent off because of the replay. England still ended up winning the game, right? But I thought she should have gotten kicked out of the tournament after that. She straight up stepped on her. But Reese James she's done similar things in the past where when she gets locked up, anytime the opponent gets the best of her and she gets physically outmatched, she starts playing dirty. This is what she does. So there's just players like that. They gotta be called out. Because I remember doing a whole video on this. Yeah, that leg injury from Marcus Lattimore, that's probably the worst leg injury in probably TV history. Well, and then you mentioned Kevin Ware's injury in the NCAA tournament. Yeah, that was crazy because you could literally see his bone with the Kevin Ware injury. That was awful. That was just awful. I would say that leg injury was bad. The Marcus Lattimore's injury was just awful. And I would say What's the guy's name that was on the Celtics? I'm blanking on his name. He shattered his ankle when he went up for a rebound. He was on the Celtics. I'm blanking on his name right now. It was his first game for the Celtics, and it was like the first quarter. What's the guy? Oh yeah, Sean Livingston's injury was awful. His injury was awful. Yeah, Gordon Hayward, his injury was awful. I wouldn't wish that kind of injury on my worst enemy, man. Who else? I'm trying to think. Yeah, Gordon Hayward's injury was like in terms of live TV because you literally saw his his ankle peeled back on live TV. These are horrible injuries. Now those are more like his injury was more accidental. People forget that he's so Educate Tyrone said people forget that partially derailed the Boston Kyrie era. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it just wasn't meant to be for Kyrie at Boston. It just everything that went wrong. You know what I mean? Because without Gordon Hayward, and Gordon Hayward was never the same after that injury. Yeah, Sean Livingston's injury, that was awful. That was awful. You talk, or Paul George's injury, that was awful. But yeah, the Marcus Lattimore, I feel bad for him because first of all, the coach Spurrier, they ran him to the ground, basically. They ran that man to the ground. And then on top of that, I just believe the guy that made a beeline towards Marcus Lattimore's leg, that was dirty. That's just my opinion. Yeah, he just signed that big contract. He was entering his prime. Yep, that was that. He was never the same. Gordon Hayward was never the same after that injury. But the Marcus Lattimore, that rubbed me the wrong way because he made a beeline for his legs. But yeah, and I'll say this too, because this happened to me recently, man. So I did a pickup game. Oh no, sorry. This was in a co-ed. This was in the co-ed league, right? And this is a player, dude, right? Not a woman, dude, right? I know him a little bit, right? I've seen him in a couple of pickup games, right? We were down like 3-0. I came out of nowhere. Like something had happened. We had a tangle of arms. I accidentally hit him. Now, because he's a taller player, I thought I was just pushing him out of the way. He put his face like near my arms. I accidentally hit him in the face. I thought the referee was going to call a foul. So I went up to him and said, "My bad." But the referee didn't call a foul, right? The play kept continuing, and then I ended up scoring. I actually felt bad for scoring because I thought the referee was going to call a foul because I obviously didn't mean to hit him in the face. This guy's literally a foot taller than me. Well, not a foot taller than me, but he's at least 6 to 7 inches taller than me, right? So I ended up scoring. I made it 3-1, right? So we were still down by 2. He was upset about it. He was really upset about the hit to the face. Like I went and apologized, whatever, but he was really upset about it. So what ended up happening was play goes on. It's still 3-1 because it's the first half. We had two 25-minute halves, right? At the other side of the field, something had happened. I passed the ball off, whatever. He tried, like he starts playing. I expected him to play more aggressively, and I completely expected that. You know what I mean? But he took it way too. This is where he took it way too far, right? So I was expecting maybe some pushes or some kicks here and there, and nothing really happens. The referee turns his back, right? The referee turns his back. The reason why I know this is because my teammates saw the situation. I just didn't know the referee had his back turned at the time. I passed, the ball was completely away from me. This guy makes a beeline tackle from behind my legs. I'm talking about the ball, like the play is like completely, it's not even close. The referee doesn't see it, sees it. He makes a complete beeline towards my legs, and I didn't even see it coming. Right to the back of my knees, a straight slide tackle to the back of my knees. I'm talking about the ball is not even near me. It's like one of those things you do on FIFA that you try to do to get a red card. So he hit me with one of those things, right? And I was like, yo, what the fuck? I look around and I'm like, ref. And the ref just looked confused. He didn't know what happened. I'm like, you didn't see that? And then the teammates on the side, they were like, yo, what just happened? And then what the team captain saw, I was heated about that, right? So he called me off. He said, hey, he subbed me off because I was heated about that. And he's like, no, he said the ref didn't see it. He had his back turned. Now, here, this is how we know. This is how we knew he was wrong, because the score ended up being 4-1, but we ended up coming back in the game and we ended up beating them 6-7, right? I think we ended up beating them 5-7 or 6-7, but we scored like 3 or 4 or 5 straight goals to come back. I was like, yeah, karma's a motherfucker. But he waited until my back was turned and the referee's back is turned, and he made a straight beeline toward my legs. Straight beeline tackle. That's one of the most dirtiest tackles I've ever received. I'm talking about in my life. And I've received a lot of dirty tackles, but that was he waited until the ref, and mind you, he knows me. He knows me. We see each other at pickup. Now, I will say this. I never really liked the guy because he would say some slick shit from time to time, but I would just let it pass. You know, one of those guys was like they're really upset with you because you don't really talk to them, and they take it personally, and they think that because I'm not talking to them, they think I think of them that I'm better than him. He's always rubbed me that kind of way, because I'll come up to him, I'll give him dap when I'll see him from time to time, and he'll just act like that I should even be giving him any dap, right? But after that, I haven't seen him since. After that, he's been dodging me. But if I see him again, I'm gonna do the Corey Holcomb. Remember when Corey Holcomb was saying that he saw Ari Spears in the airport? And he's like, hey, yo, that was some hoe ass shit you did. did to be on the show. I might have to do that. I might have to do that. But I'll say shout out to my team captain at the time. He subbed me. He saw that I was heated about that. Not like I wasn't yelling or anything, but I was like, yo, Rev, what you seen? So I ended up apologizing to the ref right after, because he legitimately, he didn't see it. His back was turned. So I told him I was mad because I thought you just completely missed it, but I didn't realize your back was turned, right? And he's like, and to this day, the ref said, I don't know what happened, but according to my teammates, the ref had his back turned, because I had my back turned. I did not see. He went for a straight beeline on my knees, right? So I was like, yo. So I will say this, because usually I don't go to every single indoor pickup session, because you always got to pay money for that, and I just don't. I'm not trying to OD pay money to play indoor soccer for a pickup game. I'm not trying to do that, but I haven't seen him in any league games, because I just only do that from time to time. But the weather's getting warmer, and we're going to start doing pickup again at a specific spot that these group of people usually do. I'm going to see him again. I'm going to see him again. I'm just going to see. I want to see if he keeps that same energy. I doubt it. I completely doubt it. I like, for real, like, I completely doubt it, but we shall see. we shall see, because this stuff be interesting to me. because you got to stand on what you did. Because then, right? Because I remember once halftime came, I went up to him. I was like, "Yo, why did you do that?" Dude couldn't even look me in my eye. I was like, "Bro, I apologize when that shit happened with your head. I didn't mean to hit you in the head. I didn't know your head was gonna be literally at my arm's length. I tried to push you out of the way. I didn't try to hit you in the head. Everybody can see that." That's why the ref probably even called the foul, because it was completely accidental. But that shit you did, that could have broke. You could have wrecked my both of my knees, really. But thankfully, it's better when you don't see it coming sometimes, because I wasn't like, if your legs are braced on the ground when something like that happens and somebody tackles you and your legs are already braced on the ground, that's when those injuries happen, when you're kind of braced. But if you don't see it coming, if you don't see it coming and your legs are already relaxed, then you're fine. You know what I mean? So my legs just kind of buckled because I didn't even know, but my legs were already relaxed because I didn't even see it coming. One day I gotta, cause let me see if hold on for a second. Let me see if hold on for a second. Hold on for a second, guys. Let me see this. CFC. I want to see if they got the videos. I'm gonna ask. Well, I'm gonna be petty because they, like they actually be recording a lot of these things. I want to see if they have the video of that, just to show. Let me see some, because he knows me and I know him, and I do find it weird. It'd be like it's always the bigger players especially in American soccer. If they feel like they get bested, they be getting tight. They be getting mad. He said, let me see. And those Florida boys used to gauge opponents' eyes. Yep, facts. The Florida boys would be dirty as hell. Brandon Spikes. Those are some names. I haven't heard those names in a minute. Man. Let me see something real quick. I'm trying to see if they got some of the videos. She likes it. Thursday. See. I'm trying to see if they got the videos of those things, man. They don't have they don't have the videos. Because a lot of these games, they'll actually show the videos because they record these games. I was about to show you what happened to me. I was about to show you what happened to me, man. But yeah, I was probably more offended because I didn't know him. Like if I didn't know him, I would have let it go. But since I know him personally, I'm like, oh no, I ain't letting. I'm like the classic black man response. Hey man, why don't you let it go? Man, I ain't letting nothing go. That's real. Like I said, like, people want to talk about LeBron soft and all that, and they want to praise Kobe with the Mamba mentality, but it's very few people out here that really have that Mamba mentality. There's very few people that had that Michael Jordan type, personality. I actually can relate more to a Michael Jordan or Kobe than a LeBron. Yet I find myself defending LeBron more. People want to act like they like Jordan, but they're dirty pieces of shit behind closed doors, or they're cowards behind closed doors. But that's a whole other story. That's a whole other story. We'll it is what it is. It is what it is. Anyway, let's end off with a fun video. Let me get myself in better spirits. I don't want to put negative vibe out there. This is about you guys, not me. Not me. But this is, like I said, this is my therapy as well. So I know what I have to do. Because I've been taking a break in between league matches. I haven't been doing a whole lot of pickup lately. I've just been doing league matches, but I'm gonna do some pickup. I gotta see if I see him. I gotta see him. I gotta see him. Because I can't. I ain't letting nothing go. And it's not gonna be no fight. I'm not looking for a fight. I'm just want to see the reaction, the reaction, if he's gonna have the same energy. We shall see. And I'll say that he only pulled that off because the referee, like the American refs that we be having, these guys be straight pussies, dog. I always like having the European refs, the Eastern European refs. Those guys are the best. I'm not saying because they miss a lot of calls too. They miss a lot of calls, but I don't care about. I really don't care about that. They don't trip over the nonsense. And they're basically no nonsense type of guys. So people don't try to pull off nonsense on them while they're reffing. Yeah, he waited till that nigga's back was turned. Anyways, let me put it on. Let's end it off on a fun one. But yeah, I had to talk about it. So now I know what to do. Now I know exactly what to do. Right here. Which one should we do? Okay. Hey, yo, man. Which one should I do? Which one? Okay, right here. Let me do this one. This is gonna be a fun one. Let's make fun of a broad here. This sounds so wrong. Let's sound so wrong. Let's make fun of one of these broads here. Let's make fun of one of these broads here. This is gonna be a funny one. You know, I think it's a mistake because, you know, when you're a man, what happens is you'll have a daughter or you'll have a sister and you'll do like play fighting with them, or, you know, you'll have a female cousin, whatever, and you'll have him in a headlock or something, and then you'll let the girl, like, you'll let her beat you. You know what I mean? It'll be a little soccer match or a basketball, and you'll let them win. But but once you finally let them win, they'll start bragging on you. But you just think it's cute because you just let them win, right? But I think that was a mistake. I think for our generation that is a mistake because they really believe their own hype too much. You know what I mean? And they don't even understand that a lot of the questions that men will ask their sister or their daughter, it's just they're just trolling their sister or they're trolling their daughter. That's why they always think men are dumb, but really the men are just trying to make conversation, and they're just trying to take the piss out of the situation. You know what I mean? So this is going to be an example of this right here.
Something I love about men is they just will never get it. Common sense, I fear. So my dad, I saw him the other day. He goes, "Oh, I like your hair." But like, what is that 1 inch darkness thing? Is that like a thing you guys are doing these days? I'm like, 1 inch of what? Your hair. Like there's 1 inch of brown and then blonde. Something I love about men.
So right here, the top comment says it best. He said, "It's your dad roasting you under the guise of ignorance. It's our favorite pastime." She fell for the one of the oldest dad jokes in the book. He was trolling you. He was trolling you, basically being a fake blonde. That's what he was doing. But unfortunately, right now, it's a trend on social media to talk crazy about men. So she's trying to roast her dad, but she doesn't even understand she's actually roasting herself for not understanding the joke. You know, do you know these men, they'll never get it. And I'm thinking she's about to say something serious, but she mentions her dad trolling her hairstyle choice. And then people want to tell me women have emotional intelligence. Or no, sorry, women want to tell me how important, emotional intelligence is, or quote unquote emotional awareness. And they have zero. Like they have I'm talking about they have zero emotional awareness, emotional intelligence, quote unquote. I mean, I'm like, you can't understand that your dad, he was trolling you. I've seen dads do this for I don't know how long, but she's seeing the trend on Instagram or on TikTok, basically just trying to say how stupid men are and how we don't know anything. But that's kind of the trend now, basically, where because men don't focus on picking up their socks on the floor or throwing their underwear in the laundry, that makes us inferior to women. And they don't understand that's slight work. That's the slight work. You know what I mean? Or even when it comes to people want to talk about cooking and cleaning and whatnot, the reason why women end up being in charge of that is because it's not that men can't cook. They just don't have the time to do it. So you end up derelicting, responsibilities and duties. So while the man is working, perhaps you can take care of the food. You can take care of the kitchen. It's not because of just inferiority. It's just a dereliction of duties, right? But because men will derelict duties and have the women in charge of certain things, they think because they're in charge of those things is because they're superior to men to it. But it's just men derelicting duties, So that's where a lot of this, the confusion, how do I say it? That's where the confusion comes in. That's where, that's all I can say. That's where the confusion comes in. She fell for the oldest dad joke, trick in the book.
Is they just will never get it. Common sense, I fear. So my dad.
The irony of her saying this. He's making fun of your hair. A lot of y'all hoes, I'm gonna keep it a bug. A lot of y'all hoes, y'all be looking ridiculous with that fake blonde stuff because we see your roots. We can all see your roots. But we already know why a lot of them try to be blonde, because it's a way for them to move up in status. You know what I mean?
Dad, I saw him the other day. He goes, "Oh, I like your hair." But like, what is that 1 inch darkness thing? Is that like a thing you guys are doing these days? Like 1 inch of what? Your hair. Like there's 1 inch of brown and then blonde. Something else?
Yeah, I think women have gotten significantly dumber. Because she's got to be what, like in her mid-20s? I remember when I was, oh hell nah. So I never even looked at her profile, but let me check out her profile. So what? This girl, she works on TV. Oh Lord, she worked on Fox 5. Ah, what? Young lady. First of all, she knows somebody on that. I don't know. We got to find out who her parents are, because when if you get a TV gig like this, that means you're plugged. We got to know who, because like, just because even if you're a talented female narrator and if you're fucking somebody, you still can't get a job like this. So she must be plugged. She on Fox 5 news. And for what, Baltimore? Oh, she's plugged. Oh, she's plugged. She's plugged. I'm not saying she's not pretty enough to be. I'm just saying, yes, she's pretty, but like, to get a job like that, you got to be pretty. You got to be messing with somebody. You got to be dating somebody in that same industry, and then on top of that, her parents need to be plugged in as well. So maybe she has all three. But I think she's just plugged. She might be just one of those girls that she's just plugged with the right management. Yeah, doing Fox 5 News in Baltimore, in Bmore, she's plugged. So, oh, she's 25 years old. Well, them fake blondes be having me laughing, dog. them fake blondes be having me laugh, dog. So I hope she understands the reason why she has the job is just, you're just there to look pretty and just say what's on the prompter. But unfortunately, women that have jobs like that, they really think they're at some kind of like higher tier level above the normies, but really their thinking is actually below the normie level thinking. Because even back then, I remember when I was a kid, because I used to go to school with a lot of Caucasian kids. I used to make fun of women for being fake blondes when I was in elementary school, and every time I would say stuff like this, I'd be like, "Hey, what's that? I would say the same thing that the dad said to her, like, "What's that brown part of your hair? I don't know what's that called." And they, you know what, they'll be like, "Shut up, Chris." And these were girls. I'm talking about in elementary. This girl is 25 and she doesn't get it. And she's talking about men don't get it. No, you don't get it. Like, I'm talking about, because I was in elementary school and I was in 5th grade in 2009. So I used to literally make jokes on white girls that would where you could tell that they're trying to make their hair a different color. So I would make fun of their roots. And those girls were in elementary school. And anytime I would say that, they'd be like, "Shut up, Chris," because they knew what I was doing. They knew what I was doing. Now, this girl here is 25 years old. Sorry, this woman here is 25 years old. And she doesn't get that she's being trolled by her dad. Like, what? Because they be saying like hoes are smarter, they're more educated. I'm gonna have to disagree. I'm gonna have to disagree. Truth Hunter says, I've never been with a lady who cooks better than me. And I would say, yeah, young men, if you guys can learn how to make sure you can cook. I would say men learn how to cook only because I think it's actually more advantageous to you as a man for you to know how to cook, to do the kitchen stuff, because it'd be funny. Because once you take that off the table, you'll actually realize, oh, I actually don't need to rely on a woman to do this. I can do this. And not only I can do this better than most women. You know what I mean? So that's why I would encourage people, because I'm suffering from this right now, because I can only cook. I can only do eggs and like bacon and grilled cheese. And that's not even cooking. That's like you just put the bread on the bread on the pan and toast it and whatnot. And I can make a mean cereal. Oh man. He said, yeah, are you a witch because your hair magically changed colors? I used to say stuff like that. But they wow. She doesn't even understand her own ignorance. So let's read some of these comments before we sign off. Somebody said women will always, number one, pat themselves on the back. Number two, complain about anything. Facts. Man, I'll say this. Somebody said your dad's giving you a hint. Go get your hair done. Facts. Facts. That's what he's like, yo, you gotta fix that thing that you got over there. Cause she's a fake blonde. Somebody said Black Spider Guy advice. I like his page. He said not everything should be shared on the internet. Somebody said a woman talking about common sense. Bruh. Yo. This comment is cold-blooded. He said, and he talked your mom out of aborting you, and this is how you repay him. That's crazy work. That's crazy work. Somebody said your dad knows exactly what it is. He was just roasting you. Exactly. Somebody said, is he wrong? Somebody said, funny way to tell me my hair looks like ish. Exactly. It's actually a nice way of saying that's a terrible style on you. Yeah, them fake blondes be having me laughing, man. They really think their level is that of a 8 and 9, but really she's this is a strong. Let me see. This is a strong 6. Okay, like this woman right here. This is a strong 6. Respect, and I say this respectfully. This is not a diss. She a strong 6. This is a strong 6. Now we already know, like, let me see. Because you can already tell by the roots she's not a real blonde. You know what I mean? So that already takes off points. And then just, facial structure wise. And well, she is fit. She is skinny, right? She is built right. This is a strong 6. This is a strong 6. This is a strong. I'll say this is a strong 6. Because remember what Kevin Samuel said, you can't use 7. You can't use 7 as a rating. So I'm like, yeah. So this is a strong 6. And when she puts the makeup on, she can definitely disguise herself as an 8 when she puts the makeup on. You see, like now, you see right here where she's all made up. Now she can disguise herself as an 8 when she's all made up. But yeah, this would be a strong 6. This would be a strong 6. And no, but I wouldn't give her no more than an 8. I would give her, yeah, like especially at this angle right here, she can gallivant as an 8 with the makeup, with the fake blonde hair. You know what I mean? So she can definitely be the type of girl to, especially now that she's on TV. She on what? She doing Fox 5 News. She on Fox 5 News. So now she's going to be in a position where she's probably going to be doing interviews soon. You never know. Washington D.C. So that's, man, she plugged. We got what celebrity is she the daughter of? She's got to be a daughter of a celebrity or something. Because simple bitches like that don't get jobs like that. Like simple bitches, even if you messing with the director, they can't. It's jobs like that. You can't just get a job like that. Gallivant, yeah. That's the she can masquerade as an 8 with the makeup, but this is a strong 6. A strong 6. Yeah, I see what you say right here. 6 to 6.5. A nice 6.3. I'll give her a nice 6.3. A nice 6.3. 6.3 out of 10. Yes. And I will say this, man. I know I'd be roasting hoes on here, but I feel so bad for the ladies that are Gen Z and younger. There was this really pretty Latina lady that I don't remember her Instagram page, but I would sometimes see her on my For You page. Like she wasn't fat or anything, too. Fit, one of those gym girls, but she has an actual, like, her face is pretty. Very pretty, right? She just recently did she recently did Botox on her face. She's like 21. She's like 22 or 21 years old. I'm like, who told you to do Botox? Man, I will say, man, hoes have no friends, dog. I think women are evil. I really think, but I will say this. I know we might think women are evil towards men, but I think I don't think it compares to the evil that they do to each other. I'm like, because I know guys didn't tell her to do that to her face. I don't remember her Instagram page, but she had a very pretty face, like a very pretty face. Like I would consider her a strong 8. This would be like now if people considered her a 6, it would be because she's under, like she's definitely no more than 5'2" or 5'3". That's probably why people would probably consider her a 6. But her face was pretty, right? But then I started looking at some of her like very recent. Somebody told she put Botox in her face, and I was like, why did you do that? You just ruined why would you do that? Botox is for 30-year-olds that still want to look like 30-year-olds. You're not supposed. Why we got 20-something-year-olds doing Botox? I just heard from somebody where basically, where you have women in college as we speak, they're saving up money for Botox. I'm like, y'all are 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 years old. Why are you talking about Botox? Botox is not for young women, especially women in their 20s, not even for women that are 27, 28. That's for older bitches that still want to look like a young 30-year-old. That's what Botox is for. And even still then, that's going to mess up your face long term. But the to the Latina girl, I don't know. Well, she's obviously not going to listen to this. But if there's a woman, if there's an older, whatever older woman told her to do Botox, that woman is doing witchcraft on you. Like, she hates you. Whatever woman told her to do witchcraft, like to put Botox in her face, I'm talking about she hates you. Hates you. Notice, even with my channel, because I know what my channel is. I understand what my channel is. I've had Juiced Up Johnny on here, right? He has a regular dating life. I don't tell him, oh man, don't go out with none woman. No, I just tell you, you go with your flow. Just make sure you're protecting yourself as a man. I got my former college roommate. I'm not going up to him and be like, hey, you can't go out with that IG model from Australia. I'm just, go with the flow. Enjoy the fruits of your labor. Even the guys that I know that watch my channel, and I know them, they know that I have my channel. They have a baby mother situation. I always tell them, make sure you work things out with your baby mother, because at the end of the day, that's not my call. But women, they will set up women for, they will just set them up for disaster. Like, you have millennial and Gen X women, right? They will tell Gen Z women to be disrespectful, date multiple men, don't cook or clean for men, don't do nothing for a man. And then now those same older women now, they brag about dating younger men, the same younger men that they told Gen Z women to disrespect. And then once they're with these younger men, you know what they do when they're with these younger men? They talk junk about the Gen Z woman not being able to do anything. I think now that I see the stuff that particularly millennial women are doing, Gen X women are doing, the stuff that they're telling Gen Z women to do, the advice that they're giving them, I really have, because now I'm looking at women like I'm like, y'all are really, you guys are evil people, man. Like, really evil. Like something is seriously wrong with y'all. And I know people are like, man, you you only doing this because your favorite Latina got Botox. Maybe. But I'm like, I'm just like, who told? Because I know a man didn't tell her to do that. She probably can't get like the simps, the male simps that are willing to do anything for her. She probably has to shoo them away. I'm like, why would you do that to your face? Who told? A woman told her to do that. I bet you. If you ask all the young women that are saving up money for Botox, who do you think gave them that advice to do Botox? It's the older woman. It's the Gen X woman. It's the millennial woman. Ladies, if you're listening, if you're in your 20s, you don't need Botox. What are y'all doing? Them them older millennial women, they're using Botox to sell punani, because that's all they have to offer is their looks. That's why they need Botox. That's all they have is their looks. Is the illusion of them looking a certain way so they can attract a certain type of man, so that man can pay her bills. Wild. Absolutely wild. Yeah, tanked her looks. He said, yeah, I see more. He said, yeah, I see more young chicks doing that nowadays. It's bitches that be 22. They doing Botox and making videos of. I'm like, who told you to do that? I'm like, I know men didn't tell you to do that. We can't even tell bitches to We can't even tell bitches to stay in the house. So I already know men ain't telling them to do Botox. It's you know what's the biggest irony of all of this is, as much junk that they talk about the red pill space, the MGTOW space, right? A woman can get the best advice on how to live their life from us than their own moms. That's how messed up the game is. Most American women would actually they can actually get better advice from listening to us than their own mothers. Because now you see these women, now they're partying with their moms. You see these videos, oh man, me and both of my mom, we're pretty. We both be going to the club together. What in the hell is going on, man? We're done. We're done. We're done. Yep. Truth Hunter said, I've heard older ladies talking about cooking better, being better in bed than Gen Z women while I drank at bars. I've heard that at bars too. I've heard that at bars. I've heard that through discourse. I've heard that from other women. I've had other women, older women, come up to me, talk crazy about Gen Z women. Because Gen Z didn't get their advice from men. This is just like you'll see this. I always give you the example where the famous YouTuber, he was talking about how, Gen Z people, Gen Z men and Gen Z women are aging different than, like, they're aging way faster than millennials and Gen X people, right? And you would think it would be Gen X and millennial women that would come to the defense of the women. No. It was the whole comment section was Gen X women and millennial women bragging about how they look better than most Gen Z women. Awful. These like women, like I don't know, the women are like women are very evil towards each other. Like it was a reality check. Like, as much as we might complain about some hoes finessing us out of some money or something, that's really nothing in the grand scheme of things. A hoe did this to us, she stood us up on a date or something, or she led us on and blah blah blah. That's really nothing in comparison in what women do to each other, man. It's like, it's wow. You're just like you're just like, what? You just step back. You're just like, wow, this is like really evil stuff. Like real life evil stuff. Yeah, that is true. He said if men told them to do it, they would rebel, if anything. Yeah. So they're basically, because they've been told just to do the opposite of what men are asking. Anything a man asks them to do the opposite. That's what they've been told to do, right? Truth Hunter said, told one to F off. If I wanted to F, I'll talk to you instead of drinking at the bench. Or the bar, you meant. Yeah, that I don't, because yeah, it's just so. Educate Tyrone said, when women dress like they're trying to impress rainbow men or other women, I assume they don't like men. Why dress to repel men, then complain that men aren't approaching you? Well, they won't admit it, but everything that women do is for a man. Everything that they do, they but they won't. I like, most women are not going to admit it, but everything that they do is for a man. Everything that they do, or for or the attention for a man, or for the attention of a man or men in general. Everything that they do. Every trust me, everything that they do is for a man, it's for the attention of men, or because of said men. Reason why they go into college, so they can avoid having to be with a certain type of man. Everything that they do, everything that they do is because of a man, is for a man, or to get attention of said men. Bottom line. They're never going to admit that. You know what I mean? Even when we talk about education, they're not even trying to educate themselves to learn. They want to gather as much accolades as possible so they can just so they can say that they're better than a man. Remember when I showed you that video where the guy, he was testing his girlfriend? He said, "Look, it's a what he said, it was a 3-place race." He said, if I'm in second place and you pass me, what place are you in? And she goes, I'm in first place. I won. And he's like, no, I'm in second place. If you pass me, what place are you in? She's like, no, I won. I'm better than you. I'm beating you. And he didn't get, and he was like, no, you're if you pass me in second place, now you're in second place. Now I'm in third place. There's still somebody, the race is still not over. But in her mind, I'm beating you. That's what I'm like, that's the hint. I'm beating you. That's what she ended up saying. I'm beating you. She didn't even think about the question. She just heard, oh, I passed you. I'm beating you. I'm winning. That's just how their mindset is. You know what I mean? Truth Hunter said, addicts usually don't admit that they have a problem. They won't admit this stuff. Like, that's something that as a man, you just have to come to grips, in reality with. And, if you still are looking for a woman, right? Even though I wouldn't recommend searching for a woman, but you need to have a woman that doesn't want to compete with you. You know what I mean? When I say that, like, that should be one of the main things that you're looking for in a woman that's not trying to compete with you. You want a woman that wants to be basically your assistant. That should already be one of the prerequisites. If that's not a prerequisite, that's not even something worth keeping around. You know what I mean? Now, I don't usually give advice when it comes to dating in general, but that's obvious on my end in terms of what you're looking for in a girl. It should already be somebody that's looking to help. She's trying to help. She wants to do anything in her power to help you. She's your teammate. She doesn't want to be the captain. She wants to be your teammate. She doesn't want to be the best player on your team. She just wants to be part of the team. Anything she does is for the team, which is you. That's the mindset that she must have. Now, I'm just going to keep it a buck with you. Most American women don't have that mindset. And if she does have that mindset, she's going to have friends that definitely don't have that mindset, or people in her ear, whether it be her mom, her sister, her friends. They're not going to have that mindset. You know. But yeah, everything that women do is for men. Everything they do. Everything they do, the way they dress, the way they do things. That's why, another example I can give. Why do women have fake IDs? when they're younger. Because this would be the setup question, you know. It'd be like, because all you got to do is this: you just got to go up with a group of people, men and women, and be like, okay, why did you have a fake ID growing up? And then you got to ask, why did you have the fake ID? Everything. Trust me, they're not getting fake ID so they can enter gay clubs and or all women bars. They're not doing that. And it's not for alcohol. All of their especially we talking about girls from the suburbs, they could literally, all of their parents are alcoholics. They could literally steal from the cupboard, go into the basement. Their parents won't even bother them, and they could literally just get drunk. The parents will literally say, "Here, you can get drunk. Just make sure you're just in the basement. Don't be outside being drunk." They could literally do it they could literally set up a whole thing with their parents knowing too. So it's not because of drinks. They're there for the attention of men. I'm not saying they want to smash them, but they want that they're trying to see what they can attract from men. They're trying to see what they can get. Everything that they do. Educated Tyrone said, I wake up to my Hawks trading DK Metcalf and signing Sam Darnold. Yeah, that was stupid. Because I thought they were just straight up tanking. So why get Sam Darnold and pay all that money? And then on top, you already had Geno Smith. Geno Smith would have been the perfect bridge quarterback. He's a veteran. He has a great mindset. He's been through hell and back. He would even mind. He's been a backup before. You know what I mean? He has a great mind. He knows what he is. He wouldn't command that much money. He's the perfect bridge quarterback. And you could have literally sat Geno Smith down and be like, look, we're tanking. The management literally could have came to Geno Smith like, look, we're tanking. Everybody's going. We want you to be here because we want you to mentor the next quarterback coming in. Sam Darnold is going to come in trying to win. But the Seahawks are not trying to win. So why would you pay Darnold? How much they gave him like a $100 million contract, 3 years or something like that. I'm like, what? You could have literally kept Geno, because Geno Smith and Sam Darnold, they're not that far off. You might as well just keep Geno Smith, because then when you bench him for the next starter that's coming in, when they finally draft a replacement in the 2026 draft, not in this draft, in the 2026 draft, because there's going to be nobody on the team. They're going to go like this season. They're going to only win like 3 games. Seahawks are going to be picking in the top 5 in the 2026 draft, right? Then you draft your quarterback there, your offensive linemen, your pass rushers, right? And you build there. And then you tell Geno Smith, okay, I want you to basically hand off the mantle. He's the perfect bridge quarterback. What he said? I heard Geno Smith was asking for $45 million a year. Not sure if that's true. That's cap. That's got to be cap. Geno Smith, he's not asking for, like, I'm pretty sure he's definitely asking for, I'm not saying he's not asking for a pay raise, but he's definitely like, he was not asking for that. He definitely was asking for less than Sam Darnold. Significantly less than Sam Darnold. You see, Hawks offered Gino 35 mil, and he declined it. Maybe I think maybe because they're not being 100 with him, but I doubt. I don't know about that. I don't know. I think that's cap. I think that's cap. Because they're gonna because the problem is with stuff like this, the players are gonna see Sam Darnold in training. They're gonna see Geno Smith in training, and they're not gonna see much of a difference. And they're gonna be like, okay, what? Geno declining 35 million. That don't even sound right. Nah, I doubt it. And if he did decline it, it's not because of the money. It's probably because of them not being 100 with the situation. Meaning, it's clear that they're tanking, but they're not being forthright on what the situation is, and they're clearly not trying to win, and then they're trying to disguise it as something else. Seahawks gonna be picking in the top 5 in 2026. But why pay all that money for Darnold? That makes no sense. Because he's not the future. People, I don't know, maybe people are forgetting how stacked Sam Darnold's the Vikings were. They had 2 number 1 wide receivers. They had 2. You had the best wide receiver in the league in Justin Jefferson. Then you had Addison. And then I think you had somebody else too. I'm blanking on their name. And then you had Hawkinson. What? They had a stacked offense. Had one of the best offensive play callers in the league. Come on, man. Didn't the Vikings coach win like coach of the year? Or maybe I'm blanking on who was coach of the year. But he won some kind of award for offensive play caller of the year or coach of the year. Like, come on. Stacked as team. Most of his success came from just throwing into Justin Jefferson. Yeah, I think I would have sworn he won coach of the year. And that was because of what they were doing on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know. I don't get these people sometimes, man. Now all of a sudden Sam Darnold's good again. Nah, he's on a stacked team. And the Jets, they confuse me. All they had to do, because the Jets already had what's his name? Tyrod Taylor. All you do is got to keep him, then draft the quarterback you need, and you'll be fine. But they ended up signing Justin Fields. So why would you do that? You already have Tyrod. Just renew Tyrod. You already have your bridge quarterback, right? That's your bridge quarterback. Now you add another quarterback to the mix in Justin Fields, and the Jets are most likely going to already draft a quarterback. Why would you add? Oh my God. But I don't know. Maybe because first of all, the Jets, when they had the chance, they should have drafted Justin Fields anyways. But why pay him? Why get him from the Steelers and pay him all this money? Even though it's not a lot, but still, like, why? Because the Jets are gonna end up drafting a quarterback anyways. They already got Tyrod. They already got their bridge quarterback. Why add Justin Fields to the mix? That makes no sense. But I don't know. These, like I said, like the Jets, there's certain teams that they just be trying to lose. So I don't know. Well, Justin Fields was finally on a solid team. He was finally on a solid team, so he was able to be a part of a couple of victories. You know, that's really what it is with Justin Fields. And Justin Fields, he's a weird player. He's like, I always say his comp is like Jalen Hurts, meaning he has game breaking ability. Like Justin Fields has game changer ability, but he's not a game changer. It's one of those weird things. He can do all the flashy game breaking plays, but he's not consistent. He's not consistent. So it's kind of hard to build off him. Because he has talent. He has legit game breaking talent, game changing talent, but he's like nowhere close to be that. And it's not a fluke. He's not a fluke. It's just he's one of those weird players. Like, he has game breaking ability and he can do it. It's not like, no, he's not a fluke. He can do it. It's just most games he just doesn't have it. Most games he just doesn't have it. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the play callers, because he was with the Bears for such a long time and they just didn't have the right kind of offensive play callers to help him out. He's never had the right OCs. You know what I mean? Yeah, facts. So Educated Tyrone said it best. He said one play he looks better than Lamar. The next play he's worse than Mitch Trubisky. Like, yeah, that's I've seen him do plays where I'm like, damn, I don't even think anybody else in this league can make that play. But most times he's not even better than Mitch Trubisky. Most times. And you're just like, what the? But his highlight, I already know, like Justin Fields, you can do a Justin Fields highlight reel and you'll just be shocked at the stuff that he can do. But the reality is it's whatever he has, it's not there. There's no, you can make a Justin Fields highlight reel and you'll be legitimately impressed. You'll be like, this guy is freaking awesome. But that's guys like that. I'm sorry to say, like Justin Fields, he's the type of talent to get people fired because you're just waiting for the talent to show, and he has it, but it's not consistent enough. But hopefully it works out with the Jets, but I doubt it. I really doubt it. Justin Fields was one of those guys, he should have really been sitting. You know what I mean? He said, I'm gonna look up his highlights after this. Yeah, you're gonna be like, man, this guy's fire. This guy's awesome. When you look at his college tape, technically to me, Justin Fields is better than Trevor Lawrence. People might disagree with me with that, but Trevor Lawrence is massively overrated. I'm massively overrated. I thought Justin Fields was better than Trevor Lawrence coming out of college. He outplayed him 2 times when they faced in college. He won one against him, he lost one against him, but the one that he lost, that was just a miscommunication between him and his wide receiver. So it ended up being an interception. Yeah, Trey Lance's college highlights were amazing. And then but then it's like Trey Lance, I don't know what it is. I don't know what Trey Lance is showing in practice, but they don't even want to give him a shot. So that means he's just ass. That means Trey Lance is ass in practice. That means Trey Lance must be god awful in practice because they don't even want to give him a shot. The Cowboys didn't even want to really give him no. Even in the last game, they reluctantly played him in the last game. They didn't even want to play him. That means he's awful in practice. I'm talking about god awful. But, I don't know. He said, I was a Trey Lance truther for years. Yeah, Trevor was massively overrated. Massively overrated. Travis Etienne basically carried him throughout his college tenure, but that's also my opinion. But there, people might disagree with me, but the people that think I'm outlandish for saying that, they didn't watch Trevor Lawrence when he was in Clemson. They didn't watch. Lance must have been awful in practice, because it makes no sense how he's not even getting real shots after being drafted, being like a top 10 draft pick. All the stuff that the 49ers gave away for Trey Lance. That's just weird to me. Also, the Titans, I don't know what they should do. I really don't know what they should do in the draft. I really don't know. I know people might are skeptical of Shedeur Sanders, but one good point that Colin Cowherd did point out, when he was playing with Colorado, he's never had a great situation. He had a bad O-line, and outside of why am I blanking on his name? The Heisman winner. I'm blanking on his name right now, but outside of him, he hasn't really had weapons on the offensive end. So whatever team he goes on in the NFL, he already knows what that's like. Oh, I remember him. DJ what's it? You DJ Ualagale, whatever. I remember when he came and they were like, yeah, he's gonna be better than Trevor Lawrence. This guy ended up being one of the biggest disappointments in one of the biggest disappointments ever. One of the biggest disappointments. Yeah, Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter is really the only legit offensive weapon that Shedeur Sanders has ever had in his college tenure. They said he couldn't do it coming out of an HBCU. Then he went straight into Colorado, and for those first 3 to 4 weeks in his junior year, he was putting up video game numbers with a weak O-line and not that much offensive help. So basically, his best offensive weapon has been a defensive back, but Travis Hunter is a unicorn. But outside of him, he hasn't had OD talent at the receiver spot, and he didn't get the protection that he really needed in college, in HBCU, or when he was playing in Colorado. So that's good. That's actually a good thing. So he's not. So if he fails, it's not going to be because of lack of weapons or lack of protection, which is going to happen once he gets into the NFL, especially his first year. But DJU. Oh, what a bust. What a bust. Oh my God. What a bust. He's like the perfect example of all tangibles, zero intangibles. You know what I mean? But anyway, that's it for me tonight. Shout out to the track runner. I cannot believe you got the woman that strikes the kid. She's the one crying. Meanwhile, the woman that got assaulted, she's the one with the brave face. She's the one with the actual mental strength. You know what I mean? We living in la la land. We living in backwards land, cuckoo land, straight cuckoo land. But anyways, man, thank you guys for tuning in for tonight's show. Educated Tyrone, shout out to you. Please relax on your live streams, man. You gotta relax, dog. You gotta relax. Anybody in the war band that came and checked in, shout out to you. AJ, thank you for checking in the chat. War band members, shout out to you. I'll say this: you had a point, though. I knew what you were trying to say when it comes to the white dudes being mad at black dudes dating Asian chicks. I get your frustration on that. I trust me, I do understand, because that's weirdo behavior. You know, one day I will make a stream and be like, and I'll probably will have to do a PSA announcement for white dudes and be like, guys, look, you guys are going to have to get over the race thing when it comes to dating. Now, when it comes to other things, have at it. But when it comes to hoes, just let it go. Just take your L and move on. If you're a white incel in 2025, you're just being selfish. You're just being selfish. You can get an Asian chick, you can get an Indian chick, you can get a black chick, you can get a Latina chick. You know, or when it comes to when people talk about race mixing, I'm like, guys, you have a whole country. Mexico is a whole result, the result of Mexico, the result of Puerto Rico, any Spanish speaking Caribbean islands. It's a result of race mixing of white Europeans and the natives. Brazil, same thing. Like most of South America, Central America, same thing, is a result of white Europeans mixing with and Africans. It's the ninja's turn to do the race mixing now. Okay, that's all it is. You gotta let it go. You gotta let, and plus it's not like white dudes can't get hoes. It's just it might not be a white hoe. You know what I mean? It's just you gotta just, you know, black men have had to accept that we lost our women a long time ago. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You just gotta you gotta come to this acceptance. You know what I mean? But anyway, shout out to you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Whoever that girl is that hit that the young lady, I'm sorry that happened to you, young lady. You know, shout out to you for channeling your inner Chris Rock. Shout out to your family. She seems like she's in a nice, structured situation. You know what I mean? Shout out to you. And lady that hit the girl on top of the head, you need to fix your smoke alarm, number one. And number two, I hope they ban you from track forever. Oh, not forever, but they put you in a nice probation period. And I hope it affects you going to college, like them white girls that get affected because they'll say like one racist tweet from 10 years ago and y'all be happy to cancel her. Hopefully she gets that same treatment. Anyways, shout out to you guys. Truth Hunter said people act like there's only one white girl. There's there's so much white hoes that you could just choose from. Just to choose from, and they're damn near all. I'm not even gonna like, and it might be racist for me to say because I grew up around a lot of white girls, but they're not really different from the other. They're a lot of them act the same. There's really not much difference. There's really not much difference between them, and you gotta. I always say y'all gotta let it go, man. Just let it go. The more you push, the more you judge them on that, the more you push them away. The more you relax, the more you just let things ride. It's not even gonna kill you. You gotta, men have to start having an abundance mindset. But shout out to you guys. Yeah, there's way too many Beckys out there to be tripping over. There's way too many Beckys out there to be tripping over a Becky. Way too many. Wait, there's so much. So many of them that I match with on Tinder. No, way too many to count. Shout out to you guys. And which video should I? Let me do a different one because I did Corey Holcomb yesterday. Which one should I do? Yeah, we gonna do Gino. No, we'll do Pastor Sempa. Here you go. Shout out to you guys. Peace out, man.
She thinks she's a man, but she does not have the equipment to be a man.